Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh?
That damn audio just wouldn't work. Let me try that again. One more time. Here we go. Ah! There we go. There we go. Wow, how's it going, everybody? How's it going? Yep, well, I tried to make a video today to help augment the channel, but it absolutely collapsed. It's probably the best video that anybody made of any of the channels on the case of Austin Drummond. Of course, it just doesn't get seen by a soul. And that's just par for the course. So I'm going to need your guys' support again on this show. I've got a goal up there, and if we can try to get through that, that'd be great. Alright, there we go. Had to answer that one. I gotta update some of the merchandise that I've got. For sure. Yeah, nobody only got like 2,500 views. That's horrendous for a video. It's that means it'll make $8, something like that. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. And people only watch 7 minutes of the 18 average. So the video is 18 minutes long. The average watch time is 7 minutes. So that means even after all the clowns that did end up watching it only watched a couple minutes of it because they just, oh, I gotta go watch something else. You know, and it had all this really interesting stuff in there at the, all the way through it. So I just don't know, you know. I'm sure a lot of you watched the whole thing, but I mean, I don't understand it, you know. It's like, why bother? Yeah, I mean, I literally figured everything out in it. I know, it sucks. I don't know what to tell you guys. You know, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Nobody knows why. Nobody has an answer. I use all the right keywords, use all the right tags, use all the right everything, and it just fell by the wayside. Hey, thanks, Dale. You look like a, or is that your name, Dale, or is that you? I haven't seen a girl with the name Dale, but maybe that is something. And thanks, Ralph, up there. Appreciate it. You know, it takes a long time to make those videos too, you know. 3-4 hours after you've put it all together, and then just to have it collapse. I hate that. What's that got to do with anything? 64 CRC. I mean, it's just absolutely unrelated to anything. Let's see. Yeah, so. All right. I don't know. What do you want me to start with? I kind of wanted to start off with the Kohberger stuff, and then do all this later. I've got the press conference and the, you know, Austin Drummond case. Oh, okay. I guess Dale Evans. There you go. All right, makes sense. My father named me after Dale Evans. Yeah, man. I'm new here. This is my first live. Nah, might be your last. Satire. You'll probably watch and go, I don't like this guy. He's mean. I'm not going to ever watch again. Okay. All right, 64. All right, I got you. Yeah, you know, but you know, don't you realize that when you know, remember when you're at work and you walk by somebody in the hallway? And you're at work and they say to you, hey, how's it going today? Now, if you literally grab them by the arm and stop them, well, let's see, my dog, well, strange thing, he went outside and he crapped all over the yard out there, and they had to pick it up. Man, that's kind of crazy. Then I went inside and I forgot that I had toast in the toaster, and that started burning. And the guy would look at you like it was just a pleasantry, you know, like, how are you doing? You're supposed to go, hey, not bad, you? Boom, and you walk by each other. You know, but if you literally answered the question, I think people would be like, yeah, I had somewhere to go. I'm just kidding. I don't care if you know, when you guys talk about random shit in here. But you know that's true, though, right? You know that's true, right? I mean, just picture that if you were at work and you walked by, you know, just an acquaintance in there and you said, hey, how's it going? And they literally just said, you know what, the damnedest thing. And they went on and started talking. You were probably just thinking they would go, hey, not bad, you? Maybe that's bad. Maybe that's a crappy part of society now. That those are just, nobody really is asking. You know? I do, Gray. I really do. Every time I say, how are you doing? Yes, I mean it. I don't believe you whatsoever. Yeah, they would probably run. They would take off. Hey, thanks. NIC Nick. AD so many saying they've seen his arrest warrant and it's clickbait. Whose? You know, they also put out, let me just say one thing about this case first. Now, there's one article out there, and a Facebook post said it was on 15 Wynwood Drive is the location. And this just doesn't, it isn't this at all. Okay, there's no swimming pool here. I didn't even think about the pool angle, but there's nothing here. And, you know, there's a driveway right there, and if you look at the image of, let's see. Let's just take this one really quick. I mean, that one does kind of go around, like that might right here, like kind of going around and up in that picture. However, I don't think that's the same picture as here. I mean, if you look at this one, it goes that way and then takes a left and then goes around and up. So maybe that's, I don't even know if that's the same spot. I got to be honest. So that was one of the pictures that's out there. But then this is just straight as an arrow here and then turns. Now, if you look at the spot that I figured out, which is similar, or right where they said that the reporting sighting was, down the street, and then right here, look, they have a pool, and there's a pool house there. Apparently he was living in a pool house. Doesn't this seem more likely to be the spot? I mean, I'm not saying it is. I mean, that's just the best that I could determine. I wouldn't have thought of looking way over here. It doesn't even make sense. And they don't have a swimming pool there. I actually have a friend that looks almost exactly like this guy. Or a friend that I used to know a long time ago, until he asked me, "How you doing?" too many times. And I'd answer. Let's see. But anyways, you guys see at the top of the screen, we have the goal up there. Tonight's an important night for people to try to help reach it, because the video that would have helped augment the show did not happen whatsoever. And yeah, I mean, actually, the one I have on there is just that's only if we reach that goal on the screen up there, that's 40% of the goal. Do you believe that? So I'd have to do a whole nother one. Or maybe I'll start it over. Well, I guess it's hard to start it over. He was on the run for days in the area. Yeah, he was just right in the same little area. That's what I was saying. I don't really get it. Yeah, just right in here. He's running around. That Dira individual lived here at one point. And then they also lived down here and over here. That was one of the other people that was arrested. I'm not sure what you mean when you say anything above my name. I don't know what that means. Let's see. How do you read the comments when you watch on television? I don't get it. Yeah, that wasn't the way. I didn't mean it set the goal like that. It'd have to be 40 of those that even reach the minimum goal. That. Oh yeah, I've never seen the comment on TV. Mm-hmm. Hey, thanks, CR. You can, like, that look on his face right there is like, it's over. I wonder if he like went in the pool to take a shower. Anyways, let's do the Coburger one first. So I check every day. Yesterday, I guess late in the day, they must have put out this document on the court site that Lisa Valenzuela sent me. I don't know how interesting it is. It's just talking about the sealed. It says, as part of the process to review sealed records to determine which should be unsealed, the court will process the review of those documents from newest to oldest. The court will require the parties, meaning the defense and prosecution, to indicate whether they have an objection to unsealing any specific documents, and if they believe a document should remain sealed, they must identify why redacting of materials is not an acceptable arrangement, and with detail and specificity why the document should be sealed from both a legal and factual standpoint. Simply citing a court rule without more is not a sufficient response. The response must identify each document by date, name, and number of each document, identified in the order for review of sealed status of a particular group of documents. The parties must file their response, including, if appropriate, a notice of non-objection within 14 days of the court's order identifying a particular group of documents for review of sealed status. The first set of documents the court requires the parties' input as outlined above include the following documents. Dates, let's see, the following documents. So it's State Exhibit S1, sentencing hearing, which include photographs of each of the deceased victims and a photograph of the 6 victims together. I think that was just that thing that they showed in court. Order modifying, amending, no contact order, 7 orders. Opposition to motion to vacate. These are the things that they're trying to make available, I guess. Sealed Exhibit S1 to state response to defendant's 24th supplemental request for discovery. Sheriff's return concerning witness, KSF. Guilty plea advisory form. Second notice of filing. Defendant. I mean, I think it just goes on and on. There's so many. Well, there's these, but there's got to be way more than just this, right? I mean, there must be hundreds of pages that nobody's seen before. Yeah, that right there, a special investigation, order sealing defendant's motion for access, and that, you know, then there's that website that's out there for the Latah County, and there's a whole bunch of files there, but those are like so random, like. Some of them don't seem related at all, but I think what some of them, there's a video section. I think they were looking into a case back in 2021 that was very similar to a break-in like Coburger would do. And I think that was before they arrested him. They were looking into that. So there's these other things that are from 2021 that aren't related at all now, but they thought maybe they were at the time. I doubt Coburger got on a plane and flew all the way over to Pullman before he even decided to go to school there. Yeah. But anyways, you guys, I need you guys' support. We're struggling right out of the gate tonight, and it's going to be really tough. I tried to help out with the video. That just didn't work. And fortunately, I mean, I think you should go check out the video that I made on the Austin Drummond case. It's the best video that there is out there, going over the surveillance footage, where he was found, just a general recap of the case, just really quickly. And it's like, boom, you got it all. It's all nailed in right there. Unfortunately, everybody else does, 3-hour live streams talking about one little tiny element, and everyone goes, ooh, this is so interesting. Yeah, well, nobody watched it. You got to share the video on huge Facebook pages, things like that. That's how they get seen. I mean, another YouTuber's page, I don't know how that would work. Why would they even let you post it at that point? Gray, saw you on the new documentary. What documentary? What do you mean you saw me on the new documentary? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Anybody know what she's talking about? On Hulu about what? What did it say? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, that's old, that one. Yeah. That's like from... I mean, is it a new documentary or an old... Like the one that I was on like 2 years ago. It was on CW Network. And I don't want it to be one of those nights where I'm asking for support and it just falls on deaf ears. Okay, you guys, we need to get to the numbers to keep things rolling here. It seems like every time now that I say, hey guys, if you get it makes such a demoralizing feeling. Okay, what did it say about me in it then, Kelly? I mean, I didn't give anybody's permission to put me on Hulu, so no, maybe I did. Was that the one? Was there like, did it have some of the footage from I don't know. What did it say? Hello? Does this look like clips from my show or what? Man, I can't stand like the me footage interviewing Holman. Is that what they used? That part? Was it with the interview, me interviewing Jerry Holman? Is that right? Yeah, there was some interesting stuff in that interview, and I noticed we're still just stuck on the same numbers. We're 000. Let's see, 1 new membership, and we're at 120. Geez, I don't even know how to. 1/12 of the goal. Okay, it was home. Okay, yeah, I said that they could use that. That was pretty quick. They got that out, man. That was a while ago. Yeah. So here's the Brian Coburger. Prosecutor says he'd likely been inside the home before the murders. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. If he was within 100 meters 25 times, it's a really good chance that on one of the nights, I even said it the other night, I think when Susan Hendricks was on, that, yeah, I mean, maybe he went in there on occasion. But it's also, you can figure out by online sites and watching different, just watching from outside. You can see that there's a kitchen, then you go around the corner, and then there's the stairs that go up. I mean, the house is really basic. It's not complicated like people try to make it sound. You just come into the kitchen, and then you walk down the hall. Oh, there's stairs. Well, then you go upstairs, and then there's just 2 bedrooms up there. But when you're on the bottom floor, if you go straight ahead, I mean, when you came through the kitchen, you went straight ahead, you run right into Dylan Mortensen's room. If you take a left, you're in the living room. And then all there is 1 bedroom down the hall in the living room. That's it. Thanks, Dixie Hippie, Wendy Wibbles, and Ralph David, who said, fiance and I split a month ago, and your show is keeping me sane. Appreciate your great work every night. You're the Thinking Person True Crime channel. Hey, well, thank you, Ralph. And sorry to hear about that. I'm sure you'll meet somebody else. I know it sucks though, man. I've had lots of different girlfriends and whatnot over the years that you go out, and after a while just things don't work out, and it always depends on who's the one that wants to leave. If you're not the one that wanted to leave, then you feel shitty about it. But there's always somebody else out there. Sometimes you have to. I think the key is to be okay by yourself and happy, and then you'll find another right person. If you jump right to somebody else, which we've all probably done at some point, not that you're asking me your opinion, those are the ones that don't last. The ones where you just jump right to somebody because you're down and out. Hey, thanks Kelly S. and Wendy Woobles. When I disappear, it's because I'm sharing Gray's video. All right. Yeah, we need to have that video shared. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I think it's too late for it to make a recovery. Maybe, but it's just one of those ones that should have been seen, because it was really, I went over the whole video like we did last night and figured out. I showed everybody quickly where each shot was, the surveillance, and you know, and then apparently where the crime scene was. Let's see. You always have the... That's right, Ralph. You've always got the freak family here. So just remember that. All right. I'm glad, though, I'm able to give you some sanity moments. That actually makes me feel good that somehow I'm able to, you know, give you some mental relief by... And now I'm probably not, because I'm talking about that. Sorry. Help the gray man out. Pass on one of your fantasy Starbucks drinks. Let's hit this goal. Yeah, we got to just... I mean, the thing is, I know what it takes to get to the goals at the end of the month, and to be able to donate the thousands that we do. If we don't do that, then we'll just have a small number, and we're done with the things that we support, you know, and that's kind of the way it's always been. Yeah, I'm sure I'd cover the Tennessee case. You know, I'm going to cover it tonight too. And any, like, if a probable cause document comes out, maybe there's already one out there. You know, I'd love to see that. We go over that for sure. And I'd like to know the why in that case. And Ralph said, thanks for your kind words, everyone. Right there. Wow, an hour away. That's a long ways, man. That's okay. Thank God. Glad that wasn't close to you. All right, here we go. Brian Coburger, prosecutor, says he's likely been inside the home before. Man, Idaho is such a long state, man. I mean, look at the miles here. Like, if you go from right there to here, I mean, how far is that? It's crazy. Yeah, almost 500 miles, just straight up there. Probably well, California's long too, and Texas. But yeah, it has that long portion. Yeah, right there. There we go. Right back into the spot. Is that the only reason you hear satire is for the Tennessee case? Did you follow this one at all? Before he killed 4 University of Idaho students, Brian Kohberger had likely been inside the home where the murders took place. That's the belief of Latah County prosecuting attorney Bill Thompson, who shared new details about his office investigation of Kohberger while appearing on the 48 Hours podcast. Well, I didn't really listen to that. Did you guys listen to that? Thompson based his belief on Kohberger's movements on the night of the murders, which included entering through a sliding glass door in the kitchen that was located on the 2nd floor and was only accessible from the back of the house. Yeah, but I mean, just being there that many times, looking down there, I don't think that necessarily something like that means that he'd been in there. I think he might have, though, if he went down and checked it. Thompson based his belief on Kohberger's movements on the night of the murders, which included entering through the slide. Okay. He revealed that the cell phone records obtained during the investigation showed Kohberger had been stalking that neighborhood and was possibly the unidentified person who had been watching at least one of the victims, as detailed in the interviews police conducted with the 2 surviving roommates. Yes, that's exactly what I put, and I think that one was absolutely him, as well as a friend of that victim and the victim's ex. According to Thompson's phone record, showed that he was in the area more than 20 times. He went on to say that these visits all occurred after 10 p.m., which there would be no legitimate reason for him to be over here to shop. Well, there you go. Well, he was stargazing, don't you know? Now, when asked about this possibility, Thompson said wait, hold on. Those trips were for looking, surveilling, and stalking, Thompson believes, adding that at some point during these trips, Coburger may have broken into the victim's home. When asked about the possibility, Thompson said there was never any definitive evidence that either proved or disproved this theory, but he said it was notable that Coburger was able to move so freely in a house that is full of blind spots. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I see what you're saying, but what do you mean blind spots? But he said it was notable that Coburger was able to move so freely in a house that is full of blind spots. What does that even mean right there, you know? Thanks, Richard Watts. But what does it even mean? Full of blind spots. I don't know. You just come down the stairs, and to me it's not that at all. I think it's very simple. The layout, but he's been in there, so maybe he has a better feel. The layout of the house is unique. It's a little bit confusing. See, that's the thing, is it isn't. It isn't confusing. See, to me it just means that, like, he probably went in there a couple times, and then he doesn't go in there, and he just doesn't remember it. To me, I've seen even the layout that's online that had photographs. It's not confusing. You go into the first floor. There's a bedroom on the right and the left, but there's stairs right there. You go up the stairs. Now you're in the living room. You take a right, you're in Xana Kernodle's room. If you go straight ahead from the living room, there's stairs that go upstairs, or you can go to the right to the kitchen, or left into Dylan Mortensen's room. It's very, very simple. So I don't know what he's trying to, almost seems like he's making it intriguing, you know, the way he's trying to. Oh, it's so confusing in there. It's so, yeah, blind spots. The layout of the house is unique. It's a little bit confusing, Thompson noted. I mean, if you're really emphasizing a little bit, I can deal with that. Just a tiny, like, oh, you know. Thompson noted of the now demolished residence at 1122 King Road, where on November 13, 2022, Coburger murdered 4 residents of the home. Madison Mogan, yeah, we know that. Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin. Thompson said that the big break for the investigation was the discovery of the knife sheath containing trace amounts of DNA that prosecutors were able to link to Brian Kohberger. As for why he left that sheath behind, Thompson said that was likely due to the unexpected arrival of Xana Kernodle. See, that's what, you know, that's the prevailing theory that I think law enforcement would go with no matter what. He says likely, though. He doesn't say that that is the reason. And that's what he said. That's what he believes, and that's what a lot of people believe out there. I think he left it there intentionally as a calling card. Because why would he even bring it in with him if he didn't have it on a belt? That's stupid. Well, no plan is perfect, and we don't know what may have changed his plans if he did inside the home, because we don't know who he intended to attack, Thompson explained. Now, see, look at Thompson's all over the place, man. He just said in another interview that he believes that either Kaylee or Madison were his targets. Oh, well, thanks, D. Beasy. I didn't even know I was on there. I don't even know if that's right. I think they said I give them access to the footage. Well, cool. Did I come across okay in it? The way they edit it? I mean, who knows how they edit these things. Yeah. Anyways, all right, we're stuck on, we're 1/4 of the goal, you guys. So if you guys are out there, you like my channel, and you have the ability to support the channel. If you're new here, so the thing is, my channel is different than other channels. Some channels just sit there and do the shows. Somehow they get a lot of, like, when they put out their videos, they're sensationalistic and dramatic, and they get more views than some of my videos. Some of my videos get a lot of views, and then some don't. But I take the income from the channel each month. All right. So if you're new here, Satire, here's how it goes. So each month, the channel generates money from ad revenue, super chats, channel memberships, super thanks, any source. And then at the end of the month, I try to donate a huge portion of the income, meaning, like, for example, if you look at this right here, in 2020, we've been doing this for 5 years. We're at 5.5 years. So in 2020, my channel, out of the income, gave $22,000. In 2021, $42,500, and then 2022, $62,000. And then it kind of, gone down a little bit since the economy and everything. And then $57,350 in 2023, $49,000 in 2024, and currently this year we're at $26,051. So it's probably, in between like 42 and 49. But we've given $255,000 to various true crime related charities, including our own scholarship fund, where we donate. Hey, look at, there's Clancy over there. Including a scholarship fund where we've given so far two $6,000. Well, I guess first year was two $3,000 scholarships. The next year was three $2,000 scholarships, and we've already got the entire amount this year. So there's another scholarship coming up, and these are for students in the criminal justice world. We've also put over $100,000 into DNA funds for identifying Jane and John Does, and that only happens when you guys are. I try to get the support for the channel and reach goals every single night. And there's people out there that hate that I try to do that, but I don't care. Okay, so the only way that we're able to generate the income to be able to, because I have to have income for the channel to survive as well. To do that is when people are supporting the channel. Like we just gave $4,000 this last month. All right, so there you go. So I try to and the goal that you see on the screen wouldn't even reach it. So you have to have these nights where, if you always reach 250 every night, and then YouTube takes its percentage, you'd have 180 times 30, which is like 5,000. Yeah, and then there's no donations at all. Okay, it doesn't work. So I have to make a lot of videos to get ad revenue, and I have to have the support on the channel, and then I also have to have other sources coming in to be able to do it. But it should be easy. Just pretend that I'm, you went to a restaurant and got a meal, and I'm sitting right here, and that's it. All right? There you go. Thanks, WNC Granny and WNC Granny, for gifting a membership. Very cool. So that being said, if you're out there and you have the ability to help support the channel, that'd be great. Hey, look at that. There's WNC Granny. 43 months. How you been doing? I don't see you much in the chat anymore. Yeah. Anyways, I don't even know. There's a math. What is that? I haven't even tried adding that up over the years here. 66, 1. Maybe somebody can add those up on the side. I don't know. Thank you, Lish Smith. That's not a calculation. I just manually add it. Who's Brain? Brain sister? Nah, I think Brian's sister's just fine. I just leave her alone. She has nothing to do with anything. And it's Bryan. You ever notice all the Prosecution types? They spell the names wrong of everybody. You know, the conspiracy types. It's always Brian, Brian, and then Kohberger. Like, they don't even know what his name is. Kohl Burger, you know? There's no L in there, okay? Thanks, Lish Smith. And then, let's see, is any you know, one of the things that people are really falling off on is the coffees. Like, we used to get people sending in coffees, and they're just sort of dwindling away into nothingness. So here's one right here. As for why he left that sheath, they don't know. He continued, we do believe that Xana encountered him while she was still awake. She was up. Yep, obviously. Absolutely obvious. Hey, thanks, CR! The legend! She's the legendary channel membership gifter. He continued, we do believe that Xana encountered him while she was still awake. I think we've all thought that, right? I know, it's almost 4 years, WNC Granny. It's crazy. Thank you. And thank you, Locked and Loaded, and CR again. Yeah, so we're currently at about 40% now, 45. That's pretty good. Making a move. And you're not, and by the way, nobody's required to help support the channel if you can't. Okay? And even if you can, you're not required. It's just really, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. So if you're somebody out there that can't, don't ever feel like, oh man, I feel like I'm just, you know, a freeloader or something. I don't think of it like that at all. I'm just trying to get the people out there that have the ability and want to help, you know, keep things going, moving along, like we've been doing for years. We're the only channel, especially in the mid-tier or lower, to donate anywhere near this amount. Okay, so I mean, I bet you even the really huge channels like Kendall Ray, she may have donated more, but I bet you it's not way more. I bet it's not way more. And she has millions of subscribers, and I got 162,000, and most of them don't watch anymore because they subscribe during other cases and whatever, you know. Hey, thanks, CR again. There you go. See, look at that. The membership gifting queen. Yeah. Well, all you guys are the kind people. You guys are the ones that, you know, have been, you know, for so long, keeping everything moving along. I mean, we've done so many great things. You hear people say, you haven't made any difference at all. No, we've made they send me emails telling us how happy they've been with the support that we've given them. So there you go. That's what we do. So anyways, he said, we do believe that Xana was awake. I think that's obvious. She bought a DoorDash delivery that was delivered, I think, right around 3:59 and 40 seconds, and then the DoorDash driver was leaving right around 4 o'clock and 27 seconds or so. And Thompson said, and then she probably got up and ate it, and then she was on TikTok at 4:12. Coburger likely is entering the house right then, or had just got into the house a little bit before that, because apparently she encounters Coburger already attacking them. So she must have been in her room. Coburger, like, they didn't pass each other, but it was close. It's weird. If you think about it, that means that Xana Kernodle, when she went to the kitchen with the DoorDash bag, he had already come in probably just a minute before that. Thompson said that could have put Coburger into a panic that night. And panic people make some mistakes, Thompson said. He then added about the Coburger, or maybe it's just simply he's not as smart as he thought he was. I saw this picture. I thought that was a pretty cool, man, that was a really, I'm not sure if I've seen that one before. That clear, that angle. But see, that's where the blood of Ethan Chapin was coming out. His head was basically, well, same level as that, like right here. That's where his head was a little probably off the ground, about right there. And that's Kaylee Gonzalez's room. That's Madison Mogan's room. That's the window above the stairs. Dylan Mortenson's window is right there. And that's another kitchen window. And there's the sink in there. And there you go. There's the patio. And then just off to the right up there is where you could park. Thank you, Dale! Is it Gaglio? Gaglio? I think I scared off. I can't remember who that was. Oh yeah, Satire. She had to make a comment after I explained what we've done. She disappeared. All right. Anyways, here we go. There's another one. Idaho prosecutors. Look how different he looks back then. How often Brian Coburger was near victim's home amid stalking theories. So they're probably also referring to the podcast. Let's see, where is this? Can we play it, or I mean the audio somehow, or ew. Let's see. Thompson shared just how often prosecutor experts were able to pinpoint Kohberger 30 near the vicinity of 1122 King Road in Moscow, Idaho, before the fateful night, November 13th. Well, there you are. Okay. Well, what do you think about what I just said? Yeah, his face changed. 48-hour correspondent Peter Van Sant noted to Thompson that police reports reveal that Kaylee Gonzalez had told roommates that she saw a creepy-looking man while she was walking her dog, and that roommates returned to find that the front door had been damaged. This led Van Sant asking the Latah County prosecutor, "Do you believe that Coburger was possibly stalking the house, stalking them?" Hey, thanks, Elisa. Is it Elysia? How do you, can you like phonetically, I don't want to say Alicia without, I feel dumb when like, you know, like there's names and I don't say them the right way of people that are in here. How do you say that phonetically? But thank you. And thanks, Dale. I was just thinking, and then there's CR up there, and then we have Locked and Loaded, WNC Granny. And then Lish Smith. That's Alicia. Oh, Alicia, like that? Okay. Well, thank you. This led Van Sant asking the Latah County prosecutor, "Do you believe that Coburger was possibly stalking the house and stalking them?" Thompson responded, "Well, we think that Coburger was certainly stalking that neighborhood, though he said that Data from Coburger's cell phone did not correlate to the timing of the aforementioned incidents. Yeah, well, that's interesting. Well, how do you know he didn't not have his phone that time? That's what I was saying. I mean, we don't know that Kohberger had his phone with him every single time he was over there stalking. Christopher Assange, WNC and Granny, I'll throw in another donation to match you. And an extra $1 for Gray, you bastard. You bastard. Love when Gray calls out the trolls. Yeah. Man, we get a lot of them here. I mean, last night I did a survey. I go, who's here? How many are here are hate my guts, but are watching anyways? And it was 50% of like 90 votes even. And then I thought to myself, you guys are losers. I mean, hey, put a 1 if you'll sit around and watch a television show that you absolutely hate every single night. I mean, that's just, you'd have to be almost like a nut job. You know, think about that for a second. I hate Gray. He's so mean, but I watch him every single night because I just think I might be able to find something that he says that I can. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's insanity. But hey, thank you for the view, trolls. Appreciate that. Lately, we've had trolls send in super chats from the UK even. I mean, they'll send like $5 in, which is like $7, and just to throw in a troll line. And I'm like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Says, however, the prosecutor claimed phone tracking experts were able to show that he was in the area of some 20 plus times, other times at night between like 10 and early morning hours. 10 in the evening when there would be no legitimate reason for him to be over here to shop. We already read that part. That was similar. So we certainly believe that those trips involve Mr. Kohberger looking and surveilling or stalking, whatever the case may be. Last month, Kohberger pleaded guilty to the murders of Gonzalez, Madison, Mogan, Banneker Nodal, Ethan Chapin. Yeah, I mean, what's weird is when you listen to the prosecutor speculating, it's exactly the same thoughts and everything that we've had. Unless you're a pro-burger, you would have thought it was 3 aliens and a guy named Vinny. And I don't mean Vinny Politan. Last month, Kohberger pleaded guilty to the murders of Gonzalez. We already said that. Let's see, where was it? Gonzalez, Mogan, Kernodle all lived at the off-campus house, right, Chapin? I don't know why they always fill in this stuff that everybody knows all that stuff. From what Dylan described, I have a hard time imagining that the killer did not see Dylan, Thompson said. One of the 2 surviving roommates who told police she had seen a man approximately 6 feet tall, slim build, with a black ski mask, leave the 2nd floor patio area on the night of the murders. And he has a hard time thinking. See, I have a hard time believing he did see her, because when he left the house before 4:19, he didn't leave until 4:20 and 47 seconds, which is almost 2 minutes later. So that means he took his time out of his car to do something. So I think I think it's possible that he might have been like freaked out. That so let's see, Kohberger. Let's say he did see Dylan, but the dog's barking. You know, a lot of stuff's happening. He's just going to get the hell out of there now because he doesn't know if one of them may have called 911, but he also knows probably how long it might take for a vehicle to get there. But he values not putting DNA in his car more, so I guess it is possible that he saw her and was like, he just got the hell out of there, and then quickly removed the clothing that he had on, put it in plastic bags, and then that's why he sped away so fast, because he knew he was a little bit late now. And then he goes on Willamette Drive, knowing that the cops would be coming down Taylor Avenue, not from behind the house. Doesn't that make sense? See, look, the police station is right, I think it's right here. Yeah, right there, right? So if they were called 911, you know what they would do? They would just go boom, right up Highway 95, turn left onto Taylor Avenue, and just go right there, boom, they're right there, and they're in. Right? So Coburger, though, he knew that cops would never be back on these back streets. They're not going to do that. You're not going to drive from here down there and then kind of go up Conestoga and work your way around. Hell no. So he just had to make sure he got out of there just quick enough to get there. Then the cops would have pulled in there and started working the scene while all along. And we think that it's possible. Me and Amber Maiden went back here on these side streets right over here. So when he came down, he could have came back here just for a moment, looked down and saw that there was no activity at the police station. And then he was able to then drive peacefully off into the sunset, as it were. Hey, thanks, Susan Smith. Super chat, because I love when Gray uses the whiny voice to poke fun. Oh, yeah? Hey, good. Gosh, Gray. That one? Yeah. Hey, thanks, WNC Granny, for stopping by. All right. And thanks for your super chats. All right, we're still about 60% now, you guys. Huh. I mean, that makes... now that I just look at it on a map, doesn't that just make all the sense in the world? I mean, even if he saw her, he knows he's got to go now. The dog's barking. There's a lot of noise. He can't risk another encounter that might be prolonged. So he goes outside and he's like really hustling to get his clothes off and everything. And then he goes... gets out and drives really fast, and as soon as he gets about right here, he feels pretty good. Right there. Because he knows the cops would come in from this angle. So even if they'd called... I just don't know. I mean, it feels like if you knew that somebody saw you, you're almost just going to take off as fast as possible. But I think he really knew that he cannot contaminate the vehicle with blood or anything like that. So he was just willing to risk that amount of time. And he might have thought that even if they'd pulled into here, he could have driven around back like that behind him and got out anyways. And maybe they wouldn't have seen him. Don't know. I just explained it, Jill. All right, let's see. I'm going to go back up to here. Last month, Coburger pleaded guilty. Yeah. Coburger, in an interview with Idaho Statesman after the sentencing, Thompson shared his theory on why Coburger spared Mortensen, one of the two surviving roommates, who told police she had seen a man approximately 6 feet tall, slim build. This is from what Dylan Mortensen described. I had a hard time imagining that the killer did not see her. He added, at that point, he'd been in the house probably longer than he planned, and meaning Kohberger, and he killed more people than he planned. It wouldn't surprise us that the killer was scared at that point. Oh, well, that's kind of what I just said. I don't read these beforehand. I just throw them in a folder. Let's see, that point, and decided that they had to leave, not knowing if law enforcement already had been called. That's crazy. That's just what I just said. All right. Anyways, let's go. Why prosecutor believes Brian Kohberger was likely inside. I'm just reading them in order. They're saying similar things. Let's see if there's any difference in these. Well, you didn't have to read it. It was in the hearing, Dale. It was in the sentencing hearing. He said he meticulously cleaned the car and even took it apart. During the course of their investigation into the murders of Kaylee Gonzalez, 21, and I don't know where you've heard where he swapped out parts. That must have been on a blog of some, crazy. I don't know. I haven't seen that written anywhere. But we're hitting another one of those lulls, so we gotta see if we can reach the goals before I have to. Early, so I don't have to be like, oh man, another one of those nights. During the course of the investigation into the murder of Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, officials came to believe that Coburger was certainly stalking the neighborhood. Indeed, lead prosecutor Bill Thompson said on July 30th episode of the 48 Hours podcast that according to cell phone experts in the case, the criminology student had visited the area 20 plus times at night and in early morning hours when there would be no legitimate reason for him to be there. I don't know what the deal is. It seems like every night around the same time my nose starts getting plugged up. It's so weird. It's not plugged all day. And it's right around this time. As Thompson described, we certainly believe that those trips involved Mr. Coburger looking and surveilling or stalking. Additionally, the prosecutor said that Coburger, who confessed as part of a plea deal to fatally stabbing the victims and was sentenced to life in prison on July 23rd, may have entered the residence prior to November 13th, 2022. It's possible, Thompson continued, the investigators never uncovered any evidence that would definitively prove that, but I think that's a legitimate point. As for why he believed Coburger had visited the scene beforehand, the layout of the house is unique, Thompson explained. It's a little bit confusing. So they have the same wording as the other article. And that's not the only preparation the prosecutor alleged Coburger may have done before committing his crimes. Thompson also referenced information given to police that described how, in the weeks leading up to the murders, Gonzalez's dog Murphy started running away from home and disappearing into the woods. Yeah, we were sort of wondering if he was feeding the dog food up there to make it so that the dog wasn't, angry, or barking at him. He'd think of Coburger as a friend. Hey, thanks, Dale Gaglio. Thank you. Look at that, gifted 5 memberships. Definitely could use some more gifted memberships tonight. I think we're only at 8. Thank you, Dixie Hippie. I can't believe you had Gray on your show, Vinny. I'm never watching again. Yee-hoo. That was the greatest. Yeah. I can't believe you had Gray on your show, Vinny. I think I gotta play that now. Sorry. Where is that clip? When you need it. Ah, man, my stupid nose. Let's see. Oh, I think it might be in here. Scroll up. Ah, right there. This is when I was in Moscow, Idaho recently. Here it is. I gotta turn up the audio. Here it is. Here it is, everybody. The famous...
When I was on Court TV, do you guys see that? I'm sure they'll get the obligatory I can't believe you had gray on your show, Vinny. I'm never watching again. Court TV, you guys see
That's
that?
funny to me every single
Sure,
time.
they'll
I don't
get
know what the hell it is.
The obligatory, I can't believe you had gray on your show, Vinny. I'm never watching again.
The best part is that's like somebody else watching and laughing too. I don't know what it is. Every time I watch that, I laugh. Because every single time I'm on Court TV, in the comments section, people say the same damn thing. Every single time. Hey, thanks, Judy Grandstrand. See that? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. My video, Mindy. Didn't you just watch it with her? What do they call them? Elisa? Who? I don't even know what you're talking about now. I guess I think I'm on top chat. Let me try live. I don't know. I don't see the other comments. Oh, those people are nuts in there. And guess what? They'll watch every other show after that. They'll even watch the ones that I'm on, as we know, because even if they hate me, they watch the show anyways. Isn't that wild? We're aware of those incidents. Let's see. Oh, yeah, right here. Leading Thompson to believe that Coburger may have secretly befriending the dog so that he could enter their home without any barking. See? That's what I was talking about. Wow, thanks. Hilson, House of Crazy. When trolls make a difference in the world, speak up. Otherwise, shush. Well, thank you. Right, they don't make a difference at all. They're just losers who sit around. I mean, imagine, again, like, you're going to watch a show you hate for hours and hours and hours. Thank you. Da-na-na-na. If I had that sound on, but where is he?
Rolling on the full
emoji. I just missed the dance part of it. Oh, well. Well, if somebody else sends that same amount in, we can get the... I'll turn it on now for the rest of the show. I can't believe you had gray on your show. That's not how it goes. I can't believe you had gray on your show, Vinny. I'm never watching. Man, I imitate myself pretty good. That's amazing. Man, how do I do that? Right, you just hit the dollar sign. Thanks, Susan Smith. Great! Now I hate to make that clip one. Now I have to make that. Yeah, have to make that. You should do it. Your phone rings and that's what it says. That'd be freaking awesome. So yeah, I mean, that's something we were talking about when we went over those documents, that maybe he was secretly feeding the dog or befriending the dog or something like that. We're aware of these incidents where the roommates at the house would sense perhaps that somebody was in or up on the bank behind the house when the dog went out, Thompson shared. But see, a lot of those were during the daytime. And so if they really believe that that is Coburger, then he was often there, likely without his phone, because they said the only time, the 23 times, those are all after 10 o'clock at night. So, but remember they said that one was during the day. So how come all of a sudden they're all in the evening? But I remember early on distinctively saying he went there 12 times, and all but one of those was at night. So now there's 23 times and they're all at night? I don't know. There's a piece of information missing. Pamela Dasgupta. Member for 9 months. Wow, that's almost a year. Getting close to a year. It's all circumstantial. Yeah, that's what they're probably still saying. Despite questions remaining unanswered in the case, though, the prosecutor is confident in the outcome. I don't have any question about whether we have convicted the killer, Thompson concluded. Our feeling is that we have accomplished a lot to have him not leave prison until he's dead, with no appeals. So we have that finality for the families and for our community. Keep reading for more on the Idaho murders if you're watching over there. Let's see. Who were Kaylee? Okay, we've gone over these. Is this old? When was this written? Maybe this is like, were there any survivors? Yeah. I don't know. It's so weird when these news outlets, they do like a resets like that. Like, were there any survivors? Yeah. I mean, everybody knows that. So we followed the case. It was Bill Mortensen and Bethany Funk. I mean, it's just weird that like I mean, I guess there's people that haven't heard of it. It just seems bizarre to me. Like, we all, because we're in the true crime world, we're totally familiar with it, but there's people out there that probably are just coming across it for the first time, or knew about it but not much. Why won't it let you? Try a super thanks. Instead of a super chat, do the sticker. I have that sometimes myself. Sometimes I donate money on other, like a sports channel or something. And the super chat doesn't work, but a super sticker works. You know, the one with a little sticker. So try that. Tell me if it works. I mean, if you want to. You don't have to do anything. But sometimes you gotta like sign out or sign back in. Weird stuff like that. Alright. So here, this one was another interesting thing, I think. Right here. I think there's people that have heard of it, but you know, older people probably just don't give a damn, you know. And I think and then also younger people that are into other things. It's hard to believe that there's very many people that haven't heard of it in some way, because it sort of permeates all the news and everything. But there's probably quite a few people that don't know the details or any of the factual elements at all. I bet you over 50 or I'd say probably 70% of the population don't know the details of the case. I would say 95% have heard of it. Well, maybe not even that, but like 80% have heard of it. Well, I'm older too. I'm just saying, when I say older, I mean like, you know, there's a lot of elderly people that aren't into true crime that probably aren't really up on the case. You know, like my parents don't know anything about it other than what I've told them, and then they don't remember what I told them. Yeah, you come across a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, most of the people that watch my channel are probably like 45 and over, I would say. You don't trust what? No, try the super sticker. It's the same process. You just try it. You just hit super sticker instead of they're the same thing. When you say don't trust, I don't know what that means. Anyways, let's see. Let's check out this one. Coburger case leaks. What happens to Idaho Special Investigation? Thanks, K-Me. Thanks for covering. And I thought of you when I saw the player going back to the Blazers. Oh, Lillard.
Thanks for covering, and I thought of you when I saw the player going back to the Blazers.
Yeah, Damian Lillard. But the problem is like the Blazers, his style of play is a sort of isolation, one-on-one, jack up a shot, and if he plays well, we win. If we don't play, it sucked. Now we're playing team basketball, and Damian Lillard isn't a team basketball player. But if he wants to come in off the bench and be like a six-man scorer type, I'll be all for that. But if he wants to come back and start and play his same boring bullshit style of play again, I'm just not into it at all. Okay, it's all right, Pamela. Don't worry about it. Seems like that happens to the same people quite a bit. Just saying, if she's pressing the right button. Yeah, just don't worry about it. A controversial episode of NBC Dateline about the Brian Kohberger student murder case aired just before his planned trial remains at the center of a court-ordered special investigation into suspected leaks even after the killer pleaded guilty and is serving life in prison. The defense requested the investigation in June, with prosecutors filing a motion in response the same day, according to a case summary records log. Both documents were filed under seal, so not released to the public, and followed encouragement from the judge presiding over the case to investigate likely violations of the court's gag order. I think the FBI is the source for the information that Dateline had. But if you look at it, wasn't a lot of the stuff wrong? I mean, we haven't heard any of the stuff about sitting in a chair. But here's what I'm wondering, if you want to get a little conspiratorial, is now the prosecutors are sort of leaving out, creatively, some of the stuff that they believed that matched what the leaked information was on the Dateline episode. And they're just not, now they're just saying, well, that was a theory anyway, so they're just kind of like leaving it out to see it really, it wasn't even true, so we don't need to look into it. I don't know. That's just kind of weird. Yeah, let's see if we can get 7 more channel memberships and 1 more KME level super. So I guess that would be 8 channel memberships, and then I'll donate 5 myself, and that I'll spend 25 and giving back another 5, and hopefully the trolls don't get them. 4th Judicial District Judge Stephen Hippler said at a public hearing in May that he was open to appointing a special prosecutor over the alleged violations. The request would include the ability to ask for a magistrate inquiry to obtain subpoena power, Hippler said. After Hippler lifted the gag order and Coburger, 30, was sentenced to consecutive life terms for killing 4 University of Idaho students, lead case prosecutor Bill Thompson and former Moscow police chief James Fry confirmed in interviews with the Idaho Statesman existence of the special investigation into the evidence leaks. In the 2-hour episode, Dateline cited sources close to Kohberger's investigation and revealed previously undisclosed details, some true and others not. See, that's the thing. A lead investigator in the Kohberger. I think the fact that there's so many things that weren't true, I think the judge should just go, yeah, forget it. It's probably just somebody on the fringe that heard stuff, and, No, the defense wasn't the one. They weren't doing it. I think the FBI gave as a source for the Dateline episode, and they had certain information, but like it's interesting that some of it's now deemed wrong. So that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't it be interesting if it was always part of it, but the prosecutor's now saying, yeah, we never thought of that, just to sort of dump on the credibility of what Dateline was saying, and thus, but why would they do that if they're not the ones that leaked it, I guess? Yeah, just 8 more channel memberships, you guys, and I'll donate 5 myself. How does that sound? I think you guys can do it. After Hitler lifted the gag order and Coburger 30 was sentenced to consecutive life terms for killing 4 University of Idaho students, lead case prosecutor Bill Thompson and former Moscow Police Chief James Fry confirmed in the interviews with the Idaho Statesman existence of the special investigation into the evidence leaks. In the 2-hour episode, Dateline cited sources close to the Coburger investigation and revealed previously undisclosed details, some true and others not. Thompson and Fry both said they supported efforts to discover the source. See? So I guess they actually don't mind because they're not the source. I think it's not the defense either. Although, you know what? Maybe you're right, though. Maybe it is the defense. That's why there's some inaccurate stuff. But then why would you want to put inaccurate stuff if you're really trying to get them in trouble? So, I don't know. I think it is the FBI. That's what I was told out there by somebody that might know. That inquiry is ongoing, even after prosecutors closed the case into the murders of University of Idaho students Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Hogan, Xander Kernodle, and Ethan Chip. I mean, man, you guys you're not jumping on those 8. That's all we needed. We're still not at the goal where I donate the 5 memberships. That inquiry is ongoing even after prosecutors closed the case. There's a special prosecutor, and I can tell you that we are not including or privy to what the investigation is doing, nor is the defense, is my understanding, nor is Judge Hippler. Thompson told the Statesman by phone. It's being overseen completely independently, and whatever the investigation is doing is confidential. That's what we were instructed by the judge. Unless charges are eventually filed and someone prosecuted for suspected violations of the gag order, the public is not entitled to information about such sealed legal proceedings. Hippler indicated he believed the perceived leaks came from members of law enforcement, which fell under the prosecution's responsibility not to violate the gag order. Well, there you go. See, that's why I think the FBI is part of that, which prohibited statements about the case outside the court. But the judge walked back that suggestion in his order that denied the defense request to delay Kohberger's trial. It could have just as easily come from someone affiliated with Kohberger's attorneys, Hippler wrote. Well, there you go. That's a change. Well, there's one of them by CR. See? The membership gifting queen. So we need 7 more now. 7 more. I'm having a hard time thinking that was one of the investigators or somebody in my office who had access to all the material, Thompson said. I guess anything is possible, and if nothing else, I'm hoping that the investigation will be able to shed light on either eliminating or inculpating whoever is responsible, meaning including. Friday debunked Dateline and called the decision to air the Kohberger case episode unprofessional. He raised concerns that disclosing previously unknown evidence on television could have changed the outcome of the case. Number one, it should have never got into their hands, so somebody obviously messed up there or didn't mess up and did it intentionally, Fry said in an interview with the Statesman. But I still would like to believe that if you're a professional organization, you'd say what you're not going to take that chance, even for a click or even for the viewing. For the click. Yeah, I've driven up that street 100 times. Literally. I just kept going around and around in loops. All right. Dateline asserted in the episode that Coburger's target was Mogan. And I guarantee you, see, this is one of those things that I believe that they believe. They just can't say for certain, so they're sort of backtracking and saying, okay, it was either Kaylee or, you know. Investigators said they think Kohberger first went up to the 3rd floor to attack Mogan. And so, you know, haven't you guys heard Thompson recently say almost the exact same thing? Like he said, he went upstairs first. So, you know, we're just not sure if he knew that Kaylee was there or not. And maybe he was going to go to her room, but then found her in the other room. He said the same thing. One of whom Thompson and Gilbertson said they believe was his intended target, but aren't certain if one was targeted. See, right here, that's exactly right. First went up to the 3rd floor to attack Mogan and Gonzalez, one of whom Thompson and Gilbert said they believe was his intended target. Right, see. So at least they're saying it's one of the two. I think it's Madison Mogan, because I think Madison Mogan represents exactly the type of person that Kohberger hates. You know, this sort of almost like a perfect college beautiful girl, right? Like just thin and, you know, the blonde hair in his opinion, sorority girl, and he probably just, you know, was obsessed with her. I don't know, that's what I think. What do you guys think about that? Kind of like a Elliot Rodger situation. He did study Elliot Rodger, but now I don't believe Papa Rodger is Kohberger. There's too many different things that I've seen other people. I was told that by somebody that would know, and also, I mean, somebody sent me an email today, and it said it was like some Chinese name, and they're like 60 years old, and they created that account, and that's why there's some Papa Rodger comments that they made that are completely unrelated regarding something else, you know. Yeah, I think Kohberger hates women. I think he is an incel type. Like, he's one of those guys that, well, you know what's weird about him is he's not really an incel in a way, because that one girl, his co-worker was pretty. The Korean girl, I mean, she was really pretty, and she liked him, but he didn't care because she wasn't the one what he was looking for. So he, you know, I guess I would call him voluntarily celibate. Okay, that's what you would call him. But he hated the fact that the type of girl that he thinks represent the greatest, he couldn't have. Doesn't that make sense? Yeah, but that's too hard to see into that room over there, MM. So yeah, I don't think it's well, who are you, MM? Did you change your name? What were you before? I mean, you're a moderator. I don't even recognize your name. How weird is that? Anybody know? Or not a moderator, you're a sheriff. Never mind. I was like, okay, I was looking at the sheriff badge. My brain messed up. Okay, I've seen MM before, but I was thinking like, did one of my moderators change their name? But then I realized you're not blue. You just have a sheriff badge like Timothy Cecil. I don't know. Maybe he liked the curvy type. I don't think so, Sandy. He didn't. Yeah, he was after Madison Mogen. In fact, Kaylee wasn't even around, and I think he could see right through her room easily. He'd parked the car back there, and he could see right into her room. Madison Mogen. Now, even if you're on the far left parking spot, you can't see into Kaylee's room very well. It's not a great shot. Like, it's at an angle. You have to be standing over there, and then you could see. But Madison Mogen's room, you could see every single time. Yeah, you're always MM. I remember the MM. I was just thinking moderators. I don't remember. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, they changed all the names. The @ symbol thing sucked when they changed everybody's name. All right, so how many did we get up there? Did we get 1, 2, 3? We need 5 more channel memberships, or just $5, and then I'll donate $25 of memberships as well. I agree, it's Maddie, but several podcasts believe differently. I don't really care what they believe, you know. I really don't care. They don't think through cases very well, okay? I can just tell you that. So, you know. Let's see, the name changes and then change back was confusing. Yep, he had to know the dog belonged to Kaylee. Yeah. Right, that's when Kaylee was around, so he probably would have wanted, like, if he was going in there, if the dog was there, he didn't know that she was going to be leaving, right? So he wanted to make sure that we don't even know if the dog thing is even him, okay? We're just saying that. Yeah, it's not Kaylee though, Lisa. We've gone over it so many times. It's almost unbelievable. Even law enforcement says it's Madison Mogen. And I think the FBI who said that, they know that that's who they think it was. And I think there's a lot of stuff that the FBI has that the prosecution wasn't going to use, but it points to that. Like some of the stuff that's in these books probably is accurate. Yeah, and what does it matter if he knew that the dog was who the dog was? It's unrelated. Yeah, he wasn't befriending the dog so that he'd want to go into the house so the dog wouldn't be nervous of him. Yeah, the dog was just part of the house, and then the dog might not even have been there if she'd moved out and actually taken the dog with them. Well, I don't care why they think that. They don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, I hope they do too. They probably won't though. But apparently the FBI had like a secondary, like they were kind of like a backup plan. Like if somehow Coburger escaped, like not escaped, but wasn't found guilty somehow, they had a backup where he'd be like the stalking and everything, he'd be toast. You know, so who knows if they have a different set of information. Ah, Jesus. Yeah, you know why everybody thought it was Kaylee? Is because Steve Gonzalez thought it was Kaylee from the beginning, and everybody thought it was Kaylee, and they all jumped on the Kaylee bandwagon over and over, you know, like, oh yeah, it had to have been Kaylee. Kaylee had to have been the target. Kaylee had to have been the target. And then all of a sudden, things changed. You know when it changed for me was actually going there. I went there and I looked through the window. I could see right when you'd parked there, right into Madison Mogen's room straight. Which comment are you referring to, Alicia? I get you guys are on a delay, so I don't know what you guys are. A lot of times, what you're even talking about. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. I mean, it's weird that well, his coworker was very pretty, so I don't know what his deal was there. Which part did the Idaho State? I think I sent something into them too. I resubmitted. There's two different ones, believe it or not. Pullman, and then so there's like the city of Pullman. And by the way, that website. That guy was like, yeah, people are calling about this. These are like other people's requests, and some of the stuff's in here, but we're going to create a website too that has all the documents. So that's just garbage, that page. There's some stuff in there, but most of it's just completely like, what is this stuff? It was unreal. What are we talking about, Alicia? I don't know what you're referring to. But yeah, everybody thought that it was Kaylee because Steve Gonzalez said it was like he didn't have to go up there, and she was the one that was attacked the most in the room. But I think she was attacked the most in the room because she's the one that fought back. Anybody who fought back against Coburger was brutally attacked. Yeah, I think it was some people are on rewind. You got to catch up. But you guys, we need 5 more channel memberships or just $5 super chats, and then I'll donate that same amount of money to new memberships too. That'll get us to 10 more new members. We've already got 16, so that'd be pretty sweet. We'd have like 25. Say they didn't invite him to things and he wouldn't go. They would invite him to things. Yeah, I think it's that too. That's what a doctor said that. But yeah, I mean, maybe he wanted to see. I have this vision. Might be totally wrong. I'm not saying it's impossible that Kaylee was the target. Okay, I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't think it is. I think Coburger. My theory is different than. I'll just say it as however I'm going to say it. He just went around and he stalked the residents. He decided to go in that night. He did his loops, and he was so determined that night to go in there and so worked up that even the fact that the DoorDash driver that he saw there, he still wanted to go into that house, and he was going to do it. Hey, thanks, this account and CR. Hold on. And here we go. And there we go. Look at all those. It's going to be membership heaven right here. There we go. I just did one too, but it's not showing. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. All right. There we go. Boom. Very cool. Very cool. So he goes in there. Yeah, and he's kind of a nut job too, Coburger, in terms of he thought women should just be subservient, not work, stay at home, all these crazy things like that. And nobody thinks that way. Now, in the political world, one party believes the other party believes that, but it's anything but that. I mean, it's just the craziest thing in the world. But anyways, I'm not sure what Elisa was talking about. Why do you think he cut Ethan's legs if he was sleeping? Oh, up there. I'm trying to figure out the case against you. No, but it was for a different thing, Alicia. The FBI had a case about the FBI can build a case against you if you're not convicted. Yeah, well, no, it was a different case. It would have been a completely different case of stalking. Kohberger's was charged with murder and burglary. The FBI had a incredibly strong case of stalking.
You do a great job.
So that was what their deal is. Why do you think he cut Ethan's legs if he was sleeping? I think he got his jugular veins, and then I think he maybe cut his legs so that he couldn't do anything even if he wanted to. Like he hamstrung him. And thanks CR and this account. CR, the membership gifting queen. Yeah. So kind. Thank you so much. Did you hear that part? I'm not making this stuff up either. Like, these are things that people have told me that actually would know these things. Right, so the FBI, I think, had a much more information on the social media element and different things like that. So anyways, I think Coburger planned that night, and he was so amped up to go in there that even though the DoorDash was there and he thought maybe somebody's awake, he still could go through the back slider, and he made his way upstairs, and I think he was going to go inside, and he was going to kill his target, Madison Mogan, and it was going to be, you know, quietly, and maybe he was going to spend some time there doing whatever. We don't know. But I don't think he was going to leave any DNA there, if you know what I'm saying. So and I think he was going to leave the knife sheath there intentionally as a calling card, and then he was going to go on and kill other people in other places and also leave a calling card there. However, Kaylee was in there, and she woke up as he was attacking Madison, and the evidence in there almost in these new documents seemed to suggest that. Wakes up, and then he starts battling her even after he's already killed Madison, and he's battling Kaylee, and it just gets brutal because he sort of either interrupted the time that he was going to have with her, and it didn't go the way he planned, so he got really angry, like, how dare you, woman, you got in my, and he just pummeled her over and over and over again, then stabbed her just a ton of times. It's horrendous. And then that made enough noise because Xana was going back, like my animation shows, maybe going into the kitchen with the DoorDash delivery, and then here's the sound coming from upstairs. I mean, hell, Dylan even said she heard a scream in the documents. That's something we didn't see before that. And then Xana maybe goes upstairs and sees him in there, and then he's like, oh, and he turns around and he chases her down the stairs and maybe attacks her in the living room area. Maybe there was like a little bit of a battle in there because they said that the drinking table was knocked over. And then they go to the... that's sort of interesting when that drinking table got knocked over. I mean, is that the sound of the little thud sound? And then, I don't know. No, maybe they didn't say it was knocked over. They said things were knocked over on it or something. I'd have to go back and listen. But then he attacks her, Xana, in the room. And, I came up with my theory on how he said, it's okay, I'm going to help you, was because he had stabbed her and Ethan and thought both were dead, and then was sitting around or went to the bathroom to clean up the knife, like rinse blood off of things, and then she gets up and you can hear her whimpering, and then he goes over and stabs her again, and then she falls over on her back, and that's where the thud sound is. And this is when Murphy starts barking. And then Kohberger runs out the door, or doesn't run, he walks past Dylan, and then he goes out the door, and he probably zips up to his car, takes off his bloody clothes really quick. He'd practiced how to do it. and that little Dickie suit and everything, rolls it up, puts it in a plastic bag, then the gloves go into there, and then he maybe, wipes himself down, whatever. Then he gets in his car, so he brought very little DNA, if any, into the vehicle, maybe a little on the steering wheel. Then he drives away at a high rate of speed, and then he's driving, and then when he finally gets back out to the highway after driving in these different roads, he then turns his phone back on to navigate across from Highway 95 to 195, and then drives all the way back up into Pullman, Washington at about 5:30-ish. There was never any time, nor is it even possible, that he went to Wawaway Park to be able to get back during that route, because it was tracked by the CAS system for the phone. It's impossible for his phone to have been in Wawaway Park. So he drove all the way back up to Pullman, Washington, and then he called his parents. 6:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30. Just called him up, talked, and then he got in his car at around 9 and drove all the way back out to Moscow, Idaho, because he wanted to check it out. He wasn't there to look for a knife sheath, everybody. He doesn't know who the hell would go to a crime scene at 9 in the morning when you think it'd be crawling with cops. And not only that, he isn't seen on the 1122 King Road camera. So anyways, he drove in the area, probably just to see the activity and bask in his glory when he would look over at that house and think to himself that he's the only person that knows that there are 4 people that are killed inside that residence. Then he drives back home, and then, I don't know, probably an hour after he was at home at 10:30, which is an hour, is the correct time, and Bill Thompson said 9:30 in the hearing that they just had. But at 10:30, he takes a selfie picture of himself with his thumbs up, just thinking, yeah, that was cool. Now, if he'd left his knife sheath there accidentally, I don't think he'd ever be putting his thumbs up like that. And then a little after that, he drove all the way down to Clarkston and Lewiston and Clarkston.
Things got out of control. I've heard it said he didn't mean to kill so many. Thoughts? Great.
Yeah, I think he only went there to kill Maddie, yeah. That's what I've said many times. I think he went there to kill Madison Mogan, and he was going to sneak her right out, and it would have been a quiet kill, leave his little knife sheath there as a calling card. It'd be Coburger, the K-Bar killer. He wanted people to know that it was a K-Bar knife, because it's sort of, Coburger, K-Bar. He wanted to, a little play on words, leave it there, and nobody would know. Because his DNA, he thought he had cleaned it all off. He just missed the little spot on the underside of the button snap. What do you think of that? And then, so he goes down to Lewis and Clarkston. We don't know what he was doing, but then when he comes back, we know where he went when he was there, but then his phone was turned off again for another 5 hours, and then all of a sudden it turns back on for a 4-minute time frame at 5:32 to 5:36, which turns out to be the same time that an individual saw a white foreign vehicle parked on the side of the road at an angle, and it was right, during that same time frame. Yeah, so it's 5:32 to 5:36, his phone's turned back on, and then it's turned off again. So he needed it on for a minute to check his maps or something. And then that was it. Then he drove back home. His phone went back on at 8 o'clock or so. And, weeks later, he's driving home. And his dad flew over here to drive back with him. And then twice in Indiana, he gets pulled over in like 15 minutes. In a 15-minute period, he's pulled over twice. And to this day, law enforcement says that was just coincidental. But man, that's actually hard to believe, to be honest with you. But the fact that 2 times in a 10-minute or 15-minute window he gets pulled over must have absolutely made Kohberger one of the most paranoid people on the planet. And at that moment he knew that they must have, he thought that they knew who he was. Now they did know who he was, or they were looking into who he was. They didn't know who he was yet. Because I think he left on December 15th, and they didn't identify him until December 19th. So they didn't even know who he was at the time, but he thought they did. And that's what made him paranoid, so that he was moving. I think that if he was not pulled over twice, he would have not been putting his trash into the neighbor's garbage can. I think that's exactly why he was doing that. Yeah, it's good to work at home, Alicia. I don't know. I probably missed your conversation, but it's good to work at home. Yeah. Thank goodness his dad cleaned his ears. I don't pay attention to his ears and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know who's blaming the roommates. I don't see anything. Yeah, my channel has never blamed the roommates, and in fact has vigorously defended the roommates, Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk. I'll block people if they're out there accusing them, because it's just the dumbest thing in the world. And here's the thing too, it's like, why do you care unless you think they're involved? Because even if they're not involved, there's no way they could have saved any of their lives by calling 911. It's just even if they, they're not involved, they call 911, they're not saving anybody's life. They're all dead. And they just didn't want to know the truth because it freaked them out. So they huddled up downstairs and they hoped for the best, thinking that one of them was just passed out. And then when Hunter came over the next day, he was the first one to go up there, and he told them to go out. He didn't tell them. He goes, oh, I think somebody's passed out, but he knew that they were both dead, and he told them to call 911. Then he went back, I think, up again or something. Like, he went in by himself. He went in there 3 times, I think. So he kind of went in there. He went and got a knife. He looked through the door. He could see it. And then he went and got a knife and then went back in, I think. And then it was like, he knew that they were all dead. And then, so then he told, to get out, then call 911, and then they called 911, then they went up together again, and he went into the room and just said the same thing. He never let Dylan and Bethany see the reality. See how freaked out Dylan and Bethany were? That's how they are. Imagine if he had told them they're all dead. Oh my God. I think they would have absolutely, they just would have had a breakdown or something. I mean, look at it right now. Look how Dylan's dealing with it now. And now they know, right? And they might have had some feelings that something bad. But imagine if they knew for certain. How do you think they would have acted if Dylan had gone out of her room and that night, right after Coburger leaves? And by the way, at 4:19, when Dylan and Bethany started communicating with each other, Coburger's still outside for another minute and a half by his car. How trippy is that, right? So they're talking to each other. They go, talk about it. Now imagine when, as soon as she goes to her room, she goes, oh my, walks over and goes, oh my, they're dead, everybody, and just started freaking out. And Bethany and everything. I mean, how absolutely terrifying that would be, alone together in this dark house. You don't know who's outside. So your mind just says, don't verify this. It sounded bad, but I don't know. It's just some guy walking by. She looks passed out over there, and they never went and looked. And I think that's the reality right there. Anyways, right here it says, there was a strike to the back of his leg, he said. None of us believe or concluded that there was any other purpose. Yeah, see, there wasn't the carving. See how it says right here? I think he just did it intentionally, like to... Okay, this just says to his leg. We've heard it make it sound like both legs, right? Coburger came down after... Let's go up here. Kernodle then went upstairs to the 3rd floor and encountered Coburger, Dateline reported. Gilbertson agreed, though perhaps she did not go all the way, he said. which was determined by what her second-floor roommate Dylan Mortensen heard and told police. Yeah, she thought that was Kaylee running down. Coburger came down after Kernodle, where she fought him in her second-floor bedroom. Kernodle said, and this is almost, my animation is almost exactly what they had. Recently released Moscow police report stated Kernodle was stabbed more than 50 times, another person that interrupted him, including defensive wounds. Still unclear to investigators is whether Kohberger killed Kernodle or Chapin, her boyfriend, who was asleep in her bed first. Chapin died from a single wound to his neck. Yeah, I would think that Chapin was just passed out, drank a lot, and he just didn't wake up to the initial sounds. And he might have just sort of been, groggy, waking up, and he stabbed him in the neck. And almost immediately, he's starting to get dizzy, and then he, I don't think Ethan Chapin suffered that much, if at all. I think he was just, you remember back in the day when people you'd have to get, there was no anesthesia, and they'd have you just drink like a half a fifth, and then they, I think he was just completely out of it. Yeah, my animation. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it would have to be, right? I mean, what did she do? Like, move aside? He goes, oh, wait, hold on a second. Let me go in and take out Chapin. I mean, it's just ludicrous. I think it's just obvious by, if she encountered him upstairs, how would he have killed Ethan first? I mean, I guess it's possible he went in there, stabbed him in the neck and the leg, and he was kind of warding off Xana from behind, and then she was like, hey, don't do this, and then he started attacking her. I guess it's possible. It just seems unlikely. And thank you guys for getting us to the goal point where I could donate the 5 memberships. No, there goes my stomach. There was a strike to the back of his leg, he said. None of us believe or concluded that there was any other purpose, or that he was doing something ritualistic or anything like that. The word carving that Dateline used. I think it was simply a strike to make sure that Ethan was not going to come. Yeah, boom. That's what I said, didn't I? I said that I think that the stabs to the back of the leg were to hamstring him so that he couldn't come after them. You know what? I should have been an investigator. You know that? Also, Coburger, after fatally stabbing the 4 students, did not take a seat. Well, I guess I am Gray Hughes Investigates. I just have to do it from the sidelines, where we sort of back engineer. I think that's kind of what my channel does. We sort of back engineer the information to come up with what happened. Yeah, I said that even not just today. I've said the hamstring thing before this article ever came out. In response to a request for comment from the Statesman, an NBC News spokesperson said the network stands by its reporting. Oh, interesting. See? So that means... See, they might have a different... it is kind of interesting how... is the prosecution sort of, did they have a different set of information that the FBI had? Or are they changing what they believed to add some to make the Dateline episode less credible and important for an investigation? He did not see down in a... Oh yeah, look at this. Completely false, made up, Gilbertson said. He did not sit down in a chair anywhere in the house. Okay, okay. Well, I had to put that in there because Dateline put it in there. But it's easy to just picture that he didn't sit down in the chair. In response to a request for comment from the Statesman, an NBC News spokesperson, also, Coburger, after fatally stabbing the 4 students, did not take a seat in Kernodle's bedroom out of exhaustion, as Dateline purported, he said. Completely false, made up. No idea where that came from. See, that one I think is likely completely crap, but don't you think that's interesting? Like, what a weird thing to make up. There must have been something in the chair that made it look like he'd sat there. That somebody else said. In response to a request for comment from the Statesman on NBC News, spokesperson said the network stands by its reporting. What the show did get right, Gilbertson said, was Coburger had previously used his cell phone for online searches about notorious serial murderer Ted Bundy and his justifications for killing. The program also reported that he searched for pornography with the term sleeping, passed out, and drugged. I mean, that's exactly why he chose that night. I think Coburger would often go by there and he would watch them at 10 o'clock. That's usually when people were getting ready to go out. Like, he'd have drinks and so forth. On campuses, you get ready, then you go to the party at like 10 something. And I bet you he was parked back behind there. And when they would all go out, that's when he would go into their house and walk around. So he would get there at like 10 o'clock, and he would watch them get ready from that back parking lot, turn the lights off in his car, he'd look up there. He could see Madison, Kaylee, they'd leave, and then he'd watch, and he'd see that there's nobody remaining in the house. And I think that's when he would go into the house, when they were all gone. And he'd walk in there and he'd say, "Hey, I thought there was a party here," if somebody came in. "Somebody told me there was going to be a party here." And they go, "Oh, no, that's on other nights," or whatever. Yeah, and then we just walk out. Yeah, he'd just say some bullshit story. No, that's not how he would have checked TV. Yeah. He would just sit there and watch. He was there 23 times. I bet you he just sat there and watched, and he knew when they'd come home. I bet you he'd do that, and he would sit there, go into the house for a while, and then sit in that lot and wait for them to come home. Huh. Yeah. See, I bought that book from Blum, Sandy. I don't know. There was errors in the first portion that are factually, provably incorrect. But then the rest of it, I was like, oh, that's interesting. But then I thought to myself, well, wait a minute, I don't know about that. So how do I trust that that's true too? Yeah, wasn't that crazy? I do think that it's possible. He would just watch them get ready and go out, and he would sit there and then wait for them to come home and see, because he'd want to see that element too, right? He'd want to see, like, how are they when they come home? And he obviously knew that they're going to be partying and drinking a lot. I mean, almost every single weekend in college, people go out and they drink, etc. I don't know, man. I can see you, though. I don't know. I couldn't tell if he was nervous or not. He just looked like the same old Kohberger with his stupid little comments. But if you guys are still watching here and you have the ability to, if you want to help support the channel, that'd be great. We have to have good nights too, the better ones, so that we can make up for the slower nights, like yesterday. That's why he was so nervous when he got stopped. All right, let me keep going down here. All that is pretty accurate. There were searches related to pornography, but it wasn't extensive, Gilbertson said. There was not anything that led us to believe, okay, you know, he has some type of sexual desire behavior that's driving this. But we also know that he deleted and wiped a lot of his devices, so we obviously don't know what he wiped or what wasn't there. Coburger, a Washington State University PhD student at the time, had a number of photos on his cell phone of female college students at WSU and the U of I, which he saved from social media. After Coburger December 2022 arrest and police review of his cell phone data, which included the images, investigators contacted the women, Gilbertson said. They responded with shock and disbelief, as any of us would, he told the statesman. They didn't know him, Gilbertson said. They had no idea, no clue who he was or anything about him. That's crazy. So the people that, those two IDs that were in his, what was it? Now I can't remember, glove or sock, something like, I think it was something like that, was, those girls had no idea even who he was. See, he was practicing his craft. Crazy, right? Oops. I have to reset that up. Screen's going to go dark here in a second. All right. That's what I said. I don't know how many times he went there without his phone. I thought you were used to be a channel member, T. Morrill. What happened? Let's see. In the animation video was the real dash cam. In the animation video, was that his real... What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry. In the real animation video, was that his real dash cam? In the animation video, was that his real dash cam? Man, I'm not... I've made many videos with the animation in there. I don't know. Yeah, LM, she texted me the other day. She's the same. She never changes. You know, just always gets little digs in every chance she can get. Not Brian's, Gray's real dash cam. You mean the video that I put out recently that had the dash cam in it? I don't know. I don't remember adding that to that one. Oh, jeez. I don't know what you're sending me. I don't want to play it. I don't know what this is. It's a video game. I'm not sure what you're sending me, Nancy. That's where the reference came from. But alright, you guys, we're going to start another hour here, so your support for the channel would be appreciated. We've had this massive lull. If you can see, you scroll up as far as you can. We've had no more support. It's like as soon as I gift the 5 memberships, people always go, okay, that's it. Alright, but in reality, I'm just gifting it to gift the memberships at a certain number. But then I still need the support from people who can on any given night, because that's actually the minimum level where I donate the 5 memberships, right? And so we need to have, you know, I tried to make a video to augment it. This is one of those days where that didn't help. Hey, look at that. This account gifted a membership. All right. So now we're going to switch over to the Austin Drummond situation. All right. And let's see, where is that? Way over here. All right. So for those out there that didn't take the time to watch my video today, here it is. This is Courtney Rose right here. She has a son named Braden Williams by another father that's not in this video image here. And then also Adriana Williams by that same other father with the last name of Williams. And then Adriana, I think, was married to this guy, James Wilson. Either way, he's the father of this baby right here, and she's the mother of this baby. And all four of these people were killed by Austin Drummond here, who is the ex-boyfriend of Courtney Rose's sister. So Caitlin Speed is the sister of Courtney Rose, and Austin Drummond was her boyfriend at one point. No, I didn't watch it. I haven't seen it. Is it a series or just one episode? Was it good? I mean, you know what's weird is the interview I did with Jerry Holman got like 5,000 views. Horrendous. I mean, it should have got like 100,000. It was better than anybody else's interview that they did with the guy. And he didn't do a lot of interviews. So I think it's stupid. I get so frustrated with the whole YouTube, how it works. You know, any given day you do something and it's all different. Very frustrating for me. So you guys should just realize that I'm going to do a live stream, and I'm going to put out videos. So always be looking for videos instead of waiting to be notified. You're not going to get notified of my videos. Just look and you'll see it. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. All right. So, anyways, that's it right there. I mean, he killed him, and they all sort of seem to have driven out to this area, and were on this crazy back road over here when they were all killed, and the baby was obviously with them. However, Austin spared the baby's life and drove the baby, probably on Highway 78 right here. Drove all the way down 78 here, and then he's back in like near Dyersburg, probably then went on to like 412, I guess right around, yeah, probably 412, and then right here he drops the baby off, probably goes back, gets right back on the highway, and then drives clear down this direction, and that goes right into 412, goes right into Jackson. And then in Jackson's where he's been the entire time. And there was some surveillance footage that they finally got yesterday and released it. And that surveillance footage was right here on this building. And we went through the whole thing. You know, if you watch this right here, we put it in the order. They put it out in
That's if the clock
incorrect order. So we have it where each one of these spots, we have it mapped out. He goes by it, see the little steps right there, there. He goes this direction. There's those same steps back here. He's coming around now. He goes around in front of the camera. Then he goes around the left side of the building. And so what he's done so far is we saw him walk right there, turn, walk right past these steps, goes this direction, and then he ends up going around, probably just right around this building here. I don't know why I just drew a line straight through it, but around this building, and he goes by these steps over here. So you see that, and then after that is the steps. So he goes around the building. He's looking at the stars like Coburger. And then he, just kidding. Oh, so it's Dale Gallio. There's no G in there. So here he is walking back there. Now on last night's show, we were able to figure out that it was, that's what this is. These steps right there. And another satellite image actually worked the best, but this worked really good too, because when he comes back, there's a door right under there that also has a camera on it, and you'll see that here in a second. So as he gets right there, and he kind of cuts under, watch, here's the camera, and literally I could have edited it like that. Okay, so if I had started this right here, so let's see, this is 3/23/1834, and this is 34 right there. So see how he's turning? Like right now, I could have stopped the camera. So pretend you're not watching the rest of it, and then it starts right here. Oh, and then he's turning. So they overlapped about a second in those. And look, he tries to get in a door or a window or something right here. And then he walks back over here, which is, let's see, what was he doing? Yeah, right over here. He cut in like that. And now he's going to be underneath there. And see, there he is. So he's still walking over there. Now he's walking underneath there. And we all the stuff's been figured out. We know exactly where that is. That little slanted sidewalk right there is right here. That's what that is. He's standing right underneath there, and there's a little island with the two trees. And then he walks off to the left, and then I just started looping around again. So we got all that figured out, and then today they come up with this audio came out, which let's play that right here. The call audio. Listen to this. I gotta turn up the audio.
Okay. Are you aware of THP Jackson? This is TBH Hudgens. Okay. Are you aware of Jackson PD's traffic about a possible confirmed sighting of Austin Drummond?
1050, they have advertised anything.
I'm talking to JPD. They've advised they've got multiple callers stating they've got sightings of a man with a rifle that ran back into the wood line. The area is going to be Pleasant Plains and Bridle Path Road.
Pleasant Plains and what?
Bridle Path Road or Drive.
Gallio.
Temple.
They'll be outside of Brook.
All right, so what he just said was...
I think of Austin Drummond.
1050, they have advertised anything.
I'm talking to JPD. They've advised they've got multiple callers stating they've got sightings of a man with a rifle that ran back into the wood line. The area is going to be Pleasant Plains and Bridle Path Road.
That's what that is.
Pleasant Plains and what?
Bridle Path Road or Drive.
It's Drive.
Temple.
They'll be outside of
So this is where the sighting was right here.
JGA 13, I'm in route over there as well.
8813, Temple.
8800, circle. 813, go ahead. Where's our team staged at? I'm not aware, Captain. I think they may be coming in at 8. I don't know if they're there yet. There's a few that are available. I know 8834 is in Madison at this time. 8802. 02.
That's what they said, Lisa, about,
Okay, I need no
about the previous coworker and that other thing, but I don't know if they said something totally different on this one. Maybe they were coworkers. Well, yeah, but they would have known who he was, right? I don't know.
Our THP units that are assigned to this task on Pleasant Plains. I need 2 cars on the end close to Union University between Union and Saddlebrook, and the remainder between Saddlebrook and Orwell. And just stand by on Pleasant Plains. 10-4, GHI direct. 8933 direct. We're right next to Southeast Pleasant Plains right now. Yeah, we're just going to hold the perimeter on Pleasant Plains. They're going in off of Saddlebrook. 8962.
8962.
8962. Looks like JPD's got Pleasant Plains shut down right at
I can kind of make out what they're saying.
Dyatlov Pass.
So loud though.
10-4.
8874 to Dale Green. 88 reception. We have our unit switch over to dispatch 2.
Yeah, so now they switch over to dispatch 2 and we can't hear any more of what they're saying. Alright, so we got that, and then let's see. Yeah, here's some pictures. You know, that one. There a lot of these are the same, but some are bigger. Like that has more detail in there. I don't know. So when I was looking at this here, I was just trying to find any kind of a driveway that looks like that. And then this thing here, I don't know if, like, is this picture here taken right up there? You see, like, but, like, I was thinking maybe that was taken that straight away and then it turns right, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Because I don't see, like, those two trees aren't here and they don't look like that. And so, I don't know. It's kind of weird. As one website said, it was, this address is where they arrested him was over here. I don't think that makes any sense at all. They said it was 15 Wynwood Drive. Hey, look at Wendy Wooble said, anyone want to catch some wave with me? There's got to be somebody that wants to.
Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave emoji. With me.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense to me. And there's no street view here. I do see this driveway here. And that does look like maybe this one. It's a straightaway and a turn. And then it goes up and around. Unfortunately, there's no street view there, though. That looks like that, maybe. However, this doesn't look like that. Because that's just absolutely straight as an arrow. Can you see that? That's just straight, and then it goes around. And this does not have, it's not straight. It goes this way, turns, and then goes around. And so that's why I think it makes more sense that it's right here. And, by the way, they also stated that he was found in a, I guess this is inside of a, what is it called? A pool house right here. This thing. Ah, shit. How do I rotate it? Yeah, like that. There you go. So he was just like sleeping in here or something. Inside of the pool house. I mean, how creepy is that, by the way? And so when you go over here to number 12, where's the swimming pool? Let's see if we can move it forward. Yeah, I mean, where's the swimming pool here? There's solar panels, but I don't see a swimming pool at all. All right, and this one's not in 3D mode here. See how it's all flat, and those are 3D, you know. But if you go to the place that I think it was, which is right here, and notice like how this road, let's look at that again, the one where he's in it. So look at that. I mean, to me, that one doesn't, it's hard to see on that one, but at least it goes out and then left and then around. This one goes out and then goes around, and obviously it comes around like that to the house. And guess what? This house has a pool, and I think that's the pool house right there. So that one, doesn't that just make more sense?
Ocean wave emoji. Ocean wave emoji.
Thank you,
Ocean
Sandy
wave emoji.
Shirley. What do you think? Doesn't this make more sense, given the fact that he was running through the woods over here? This house has a pool house, and I don't know. Let's try one other thing. I did this earlier today. If we go to Google Earth and then down to the area. Google Earth on Google Maps, it's the same thing. Let's see. So that was right here, right there, right there. We go down to Street View here and go there. Then look here, but then change the date back to like 2012. Let's see what happens if we go right there and we look up there. It looks like there's even another kind of a driveway or something that goes there. So we look at that, and then we look at this one. I don't know. Doesn't that just feel like that's the one? And does it just go right there and turn, or is it way up there? I mean, the thing is when you look at the map, it definitely turns way up there, not right there. Let me try to find. I'm not saying it. I'm not 100% convinced. That's why I'm still looking at it. That one you can see it. See, it goes like that. And oh man, let me see if there's any more. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, so there is another little turn there. Interesting. All right, this should be able. We should be able to figure this out. If this is the right place or not. Man, that's amazing. Look how clear that is. You can see the whole. So I guess couldn't it be like that this shot here is right there? Like that is right here? What do you think? Although this looks like dark asphalt, and now this doesn't look as dark, so I don't know what that is. This here looks more like asphalt back there, sort of like it's built up on both sides. See that? Almost like when you repave a road and it sort of sticks up a little bit. So that's what this looks like. However, now that shape isn't the same. What year is this? That's 2022. So let's see if I go like that. Yeah, see it does do a little bit of that jogging and then around and to the right. Let's say if it was more like that. Yeah, I don't know. See, that's the thing. This thing seems like it quickly turns. But it doesn't do that in some of the more recent, like when you go to Street View, it seems like, I guess it does curve right out of the chute. But what if you eliminate, let me go back up there. If you eliminate that first part, I'm just trying to figure it out. That's what we do over here, guys. If it gets boring, I guess you'll just have to take off. So let's say forget that part and it starts right here. You know, like just sort of like the photograph. Let's say the photograph is taken right here. Does that work? Nah, I don't know. It kind of curves again, and I don't know. Or maybe they took the picture right. I don't know. I was thinking right at this location. No, I don't know. Jeez, frustrating. These people don't have a pool. Let's look around now that we have this option here. Okay, this house has a pool. That one does. There's a pool house right there, and that's really close to there. Let's see what that looks like. Do you guys mind doing this or not? You guys just talk away. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys should have seen that time. Yeah, I found this YouTuber who was on the run. That might have been, I think it still is my best sleuthing moment ever. I mean, it was just so crazy. And all it was, this guy, he was on the run. He had a camera in his hand. And he filmed, he was just doing a selfie shot, but then in 1 second he turned the camera and it filmed this little tiny, there was actually a police car in the background, if you can believe it. And so I looked at the police car and I just guessed in my head that it looked really sunny, and this guy was from Indiana. I bet he's in Florida. So I typed in something like, I don't know, like Florida vehicles or something, and then we were looking at like his girlfriend at the time lived somewhere in Florida. Then it turns out we were able to find the make and model of the vehicle, so we knew what town he was in. And then in that same image you could see these little patterns on the ground, and I went through all of the city, and then boom, I found the exact like cement tiles he was standing on. I mean, it was crazy. That was one of the best ones I ever had. I'm gonna go back to that one. That was a good one. It's like February of 2020, right there. That one really, you don't even have to, you can see all that. Let's go over to this place here now. Yeah, I don't think that's the one at all. That thing, it could be that other shot, but definitely not like that one. That doesn't even work. See, that goes straight-ish. I mean, it does go, let's see. Yeah. Well, gosh, I mean, maybe. That looks really straight right there. I'm talking about this right there. And then it turns. And there's no pool again. So that, yeah, it's weird because it kind of goes like this, and then is that a pool right there, covered, or a deck? No, it looks like a diving board right there. So that's a pool. So this one definitely could have it. Let's see. Goes straight. Turn. But you should be able to see that in this picture. Wouldn't you be able to see that island? This one looks like a lone road that goes up. But this does sort of have that, and then turn, and then around. I guess, I mean, it's possible it's this one. What are you talking about? This one does have a pool. I think that's a diving board, and that's a covered pool. And this one has a pool. Goes like this. That's not going to be it. This one has a shot, just depending on just kind of how the way the trees are. It's right next to the one that I found. Oh, well, that's, well, let's see if we can, let's do the same thing on Old Street View on. I just do my own thing. No, I'm just doing it the way I do it, Ashy Snow. Don't worry about it. Alright, let's see. I think it was... And by the way, look at that. Let's see if there's a different month. I guess what we do is make sure that that's a pool. If we just go up here and... Oh, there it is. See? See? Diving board, and there's a pool right underneath there. So this one definitely could be it. See that? Common sense. Let me go down here. Take a look at see more dates. Go to 2012. Yeah, that's not going to be it. See how you could just see everything? There's no woods, so that's not it. I mean, this one feels right, the one I originally picked with the black asphalt there. Yeah, I haven't seen you in like 2 years, Ashy Snow. These storms have been crazy. I'm in the ocean. Anyway, so yes, I'm sure. Sit back and watch the magic. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to find this, where this shot is. The news said it was 15, whatever, like over, well, it's not on this one. It's on Google Earth. They said right here, this property. Man, I don't believe that. Doesn't work. So that one's even clear. It does go up and then slightly turns to the right. But that's not, see, the one, the shot behind him, this does not look like that. Do you guys agree? Straight, then left, and then it goes around to the right. Straight, then left, and then around, you know, so it just doesn't seem to... And it's weird because right there it sort of curves. Is there more pictures of the rest out there that we could use? Let's see. Let me check. Austin Drummond arrest images. So there's just a couple of them. Look at that guy. Looks like he hasn't slept in a month. Yeah, and this guy was talking about it.
Well, what happened was we are working over here, and we saw the guy walking in the middle of the wood.
Thank you.
And we thought, like, you know, nobody wants to walk in the middle of the wood, in the middle of this stuff. So we was kind of like very sure it was the guy. So I called the police immediately when the guy was walking right there, and kind of like give them, you know, the location and everything. And they'd be hearing about, you know, actually I was on the phone when they got here. So, and I'm really glad they got it.
Where was he standing? I couldn't find any of that stuff.
Well, what happened was we are working over here, and we saw the guy walking in the middle of the wood.
Thank you.
And we thought, like, you know, nobody wants to. What happened was we are working over here, and we saw the guy walking in the middle of the wood.
Thank you.
And we thought, like, you know, nobody wants to walk in the middle of the wood, in the middle of this stuff. So we was kind of like very sure it was the guy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That stuff's could be somewhere out in here. I don't know. I don't see like a big grassy area anywhere near here. This is where he was reported. I wonder if, like, I don't know what this is. Does anybody know what this place is right here? I mean, look at this. Is that a house with 2 medical evac areas? Like, that's a house. That's a one. You know, you could put, 4 homes there. You got another. That's a pool there. That's actually a pool house. What do you mean that's it left on? I don't know what you're talking about, Delana. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. Now, what? What do you mean that's it? I don't know what you're saying. What's it? This is one of those things that's going to take 30 minutes for somebody to explain it. Don't know what you're referring to. I'm sorry. I mean, there's a spot right here. There's an opening, but I don't know if that's it. I'm not going to. I don't know what street you're talking about. Which one? Are you on rewind? Which pool? Which one are you talking about? I've showed like 19 pools now. See, it doesn't work like that. You mean this big house right here? This house right here? This one? Okay, I'm stopping it on the screen. Is it this house right here? Anybody there? So he was at this really big house here. Yeah, I guess it's possible. Let's take. I mean, I looked at this one originally, and the road there didn't make sense to me. Like, that doesn't look. It looks a lot different wooded than that in his shots. See this? See that right here? This doesn't look like that at all. This is sort of more dense woods. These are wide open areas. Maybe he was standing right here, though, if that's what you're talking about. Let me go to the... could be right there, like on this turnout, I guess. But like maybe he's standing right there. I don't think so, though, because this one has like a bunch of rocks, and that's just one big rock. And also there's no mailbox around the corner. I mean, he could have been somewhere else up the street, maybe. Well, how do you know that's it, Sandy? I don't think it is. No, it's not right there. It's not right there. I just showed you it's not right there. Yeah, that doesn't mean they were in the right spot. I'm trying to find where this guy is on the screen. And I don't think this is it, because nothing matches. And also, like, where they arrested the guy, it doesn't make sense. Like this, these waterfalls here, that's not in the same. This guy right here, there's this right there, and there's a curve, and then a mailbox. Or maybe could that be it right there? If I back it up this direction? No. No. Because it's a curve there. See, like, see how it goes this way and then it curves around? So that means it would go out like this and then curve. So that wouldn't be it. Plus, the background isn't even the same. See how there's an opening space over there? Man, I have no idea what the hell he's, you know. Yeah, see how it's wide open in the background? There's no canopy or anything. Yeah, who cares if there was a news reporter at the falls? Doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care. I can't tell you any times the media has it wrong. They're just standing in a place that looks good, sort of in the area. I try to find the exact spot. They never are in the exact spot. I can just tell you, it's just the way it is. And if you look at this guy right here, notice how there's nothing in the sky back there. So you tell me where there's a spot that looks like that anywhere around here, and there isn't one. All right? There's nothing. I'm going to go around the corner here, though, and we'll see. But I'm just telling you. Yeah, no, that's... This is where the cops were said that there was a sighting. Yes. 100%. But that doesn't mean that that's where the guy was. They just gave the closest main road. Let me just show you what they do. Watch. So where it happened was near this road and this road. What other road would they say? There's no other roads that go in there. And there's one up here, so they have to say, yeah, it's near this road and that road. So then they can go in there and look around. Was it exactly right at that road? We don't know, but that's the only side street that's anywhere near anything. So let's go, let's try to go down here. What the hell is this? That's crazy. Isn't that a weird little thing? I mean, who's that for? Oh, I guess there's a house right there. Let me look up here. Yeah, these are all like $1 million homes. Okay, now we're getting into an open area where you might be able to, you know, like the sky. See, what we're looking for, see how the sky is open like that? And he's just sort of underneath a tree by the edge of a... Yeah, I mean, you know, this area here, you know, looks, you know, getting closer, but that's not it either. I'm not saying this is, I'm getting closer to this spot, but that look is better. You're in an open area with a little bit of a canopy, one tree that you're under. Yeah, I don't need to know the address of it. I don't care what the address is. I already know where the house is. Come on. Yeah, give me helpful information. All right. Well, that didn't work. Man, that's crazy. Yeah. And so none of this here. God, what's that? Is that must be part of that property? That's a barn associated with it. Wonder if he stayed in that one. But there is a pool here, and there's a pool house. But this road here is not where they were pulling him out of. See this? It doesn't look like that there. I'll show you again. We already know where this house is, so the address doesn't really do anything. What happened to the... Oh, there it is. So you go down here, and you look, and look at the woods. They're wide open. There's not anything remotely similar to this. See that? Not even close. It's nice and manicured lawns. So this is what media does often. They just show up here. Like in the Delphi case, they're standing over, over at the Freedom Bridge. Hey, there was this. Well, they're not even close to where anything was. All right. But hey, guys, we're on one of those massive lulls. I'm still here. What are you sending me? Yeah, Wynwood Drive. I saw that drive earlier today because somebody said number 15, Wynwood Drive. I don't agree with that. See, here I am right here. See, I don't know what you're showing me though. It's all over the place. Wynwood Drive, Wynwood Drive. Does it keep going around? I mean, it might be if it's somewhere else on Wynwood Drive. Is that what this is? Okay, well, if it's over here, let's see. That guy has a pool. Now, these are all not, there's no street view in here. Shit. No, all private. Yeah, what I had is number 15. It's up here. So, so Wynwood Drive, I guess, comes around. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, what are you supposedly sending me? Yeah, I've seen that picture. Location of Austin. That's exactly what I saw earlier. It says 15 Wynwood Hills. There isn't Wynwood Hills. There's a Wynwood Drive, and 15 Wynwood Drive is up here. They don't even have a swimming pool. So what you just showed me is down here, and that doesn't work either. Let me check something out though. What about this? What's that? Let me look at that again. That's mildly interesting. Look at that little spot right there. Oh yeah. Man, that looks sort of good, I guess. I mean, I guess if you have to start. Here, let me just show you though. Here, look at, like, go like about like this. I don't see whatever these are. I don't know where that is, but Here, look. Goes like that, then that way, and then it curves around. And then maybe there's some trees up there that you can't see that other spot. That would be sort of interesting, right? If that was it. And so maybe it did come from an area. I don't know. Yeah. It just shows you, like, nobody ever puts out accurate information where you just have it. You know? It doesn't matter. What do you mean, where are we now? I don't understand it. If you'd watched, you'd probably know. Let's see. Yeah, so it's way over there is what we were just looking at. Where the hell was that? I hate how they have like partial 3D like that. Wasn't it over here we were just looking at? Man, I've already, like, right there. Maybe. Let me just put a pin right there. Except, why would he be way over there if the sighting's here? That's the part. It's like, oh, the sighting's here, and they marked it right. They, you know, blocked all the roads, and then they caught him. Well, then all of a sudden he's over here. So that's the part that doesn't make sense. I mean, that's the best I can come up with is this spot, and a pool house right there. And I know that they're saying that he was caught. One article out there says 15 Wynwood Drive, or Wynwood Hill it actually says, and that doesn't exist. So they're saying this house, and that house doesn't even have a swimming pool. So, which doesn't mean he couldn't have ran to that yard and got caught, even though he was at a place that had a pool before that. I don't want to give out the name of it. What difference does it make if you know that? Yeah, I don't know why they don't give us that information. If that's what you're saying. Hey, thanks. This is a cow. Wow! Holy crap! Wow, wow! Mapping lull. Thanks, MM.
Thank you.
It wasn't just a mapping lull. It's been a lull for 45 minutes. You know, I guess, you know, here's the thing. We don't even know if he came down this way. They may have just been walking by a street and that just happened to be behind him. However, I can't really find that. But it could be this one right here. Or not that one. One I just found a minute ago. This spot right here. Like that looks like if they're walking, look at, there's a pool. Maybe there's a pool house right there, and they're walking him this way, and then that shot right there is behind him. You know, so that very well could be this, whatever house this is, could be the spot. But yeah, I mean, I thank everybody for sending stuff, you know, even the address, I guess, but I don't need to know an address if I'm looking at the building, right? I already know where the building is. But this little street here does have, I don't see whatever this is in the picture. And actually, I would think, because if you look closely at this shot right here, see how it kind of starts curving, like, kind of like this, and then sort of opens up over there. That was kind of looking like right here. But unfortunately, it's not wide enough to see if these items are in those spots. And there just isn't a lot of... If there's more images out there, that'd be great to have. I guess we'll have to fill that in later. Why Ashy Snow? Why is that? There's no street view there. You can see it right here on the screen. There's no street view. Oh, jeez. Timothy. My God. I don't know what it is. Nah, that's over here. That's this one. That's not what she was asking. That's not the one, Ashy Snow. There's no street view. And that would be the only reason you'd want to go check it out. There's none inside here. I'd love to just find where that guy was talking. That's hard to find too. Might be inside of that same place with no street view. Yeah, that's crazy. See, this is where they reported him at, and that's why I was thinking that this driveway could be the one, because it looks similar to the one he's in. Right now there's just trees, and it could have been like right from that angle right back here, you know, like a minute ago, like right there, but a little bit more, you know. And then just slightly to the left again, because it would go like this. I guess, I don't know, would that work? If I move that way, that would go straighter. I don't know. This is one of those ones that's just too ambiguous of shots, and we don't have street view where you need it. But man, thanks, this account. That was very kind. And MM mapping lol. Engagement. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really figured out. I've asked the lady, like, what do you do with those things? I guess the little crowns that you guys have with the number 1s and the 2s and the. All right, I'm just going to try it a couple more times. It's getting frustrating. Looked like he was on a road, that guy. Yeah, it's just crazy how there's like no, they almost cut these images off. That's why I hate portrait images. They just cut off so much stuff on the sides that you can't figure anything out. What the heck? What the heck, M10? Come on. Double dog dare. A double dog dare. Wow, thanks. What was the double dog dare? What happened? Anyways, thank you. That was so kind. I'm just trying to find a spot where that... Okay, let's go over... Let me look over here. Is there anything that looks like that guy? Oh, cool. Maybe I should do more where you guys just sit there and do nothing. Yeah. You know, I just let you talk and chat, and I just sit over here and... I mean, hell, why not? I mean... Alright, let's just focus in on this area here. That's about the only spot that looks the same. But there's no rocks right there. What photo? Why do you need to hear me, Ashy Snow? I'm just looking around. That's all I'm doing. Man, you haven't been here in a while and complain, demanding, complain. Let's see. See this little curve area, that's kind of what I'm looking for, something kind of curves in and then it does like that. And then there's rocks right in that area. But I'm not really saying any. Okay, here, I'll turn it off. I'm looking for this spot right here where this guy's talking, because then he points off to the right. Oh, he was walking right there. And it's wide open. There isn't a bunch of trees around. He's underneath the tree, but it's wide open behind him. Then it looks like there's a road that kind of comes in, and then it, something that curves right off of it. Had there been just this much more of the photograph, it would have been incredibly helpful. Like if it was just one more inch to the right. But of course, nobody takes photos like that anymore. It's all portrait images. It's just Loserville. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to start over again here. This is where the report was. There is nothing even on this street here that looks correct because of all the trees around. So it has to be not in this area right here. An area like this is definitely more possible, but then back here you got a bunch of trees again. So it's almost like it's got to be a place where, like something like, it's hard to even, like, I don't know, over here or something, where in the background over there, but still there's a bunch of trees. He doesn't have any in the background. So that's what makes this hard. There isn't even that many houses in here. Maybe I need to draw like a grid line or something. Let's see. If we go from, let's just go right here to here to there to there. It's inside of there for sure. So it's inside of that area there. And, probably even make that smaller. Yeah, maybe like inside of that. So they got this guy standing outside. I believe in conspiracies now, man. This place doesn't even exist. It was all done in a studio in Hollywood. Right, Ashy Snow? Now, what was your game? Oh, is it you were like doubling up each other or something? Well, thanks for whatever game that you guys were playing. That was nice of you. Seems to me that was a risky neighborhood for the fugitive. Or maybe unrisky. You know why? Because you thought it was risky, right? I mean, there's cameras all over the place, for sure, but he probably thought, well, nobody's going to look at a rich neighborhood. They'd probably think I was in a All right. So maybe we need to grid, even like make more grid lines. I'm going to go like this. There's one. Gosh darn it, man. We're going to do this. Why? Because it's like going to the moon, right? Flying to Mars, whatever. There's no real rhyme or reason. No, I do have a sense of humor. Ashy Snow, you're just never here, so you don't get to see it. No, nobody even said that you were the one that was doing a conspiracy. I said that I think it's a I came up with a conspiracy. I'm not sure what you're saying. I was the one that was saying it was a conspiracy. I wasn't saying your thought was a conspiracy. I said I'm going to come up with a conspiracy and say this is all fake and it was done in a Hollywood studio, because that doesn't exist, that place that guy was standing. All right, let's look at this one really quick. And what we'll do is we'll put a red pin in the middle once it's finished. Alright, so we'll go ahead and I'll do the one that says it'll be an F. Alright, we'll put it there in a minute here. We'll turn it off for now. Anything in there look like that. And I can just tell that's not it. How about this one? And let's see, the roadie's on, it's curving, goes to the left. And watch, he filmed himself in selfie mode. Are you sure about that? Let's see. I don't mind. I'm just getting... Okay, forget it. It's not Windy City Road. All right. That's nowhere near here. It's way up here. He said he saw him running right across the street. Are you saying like way down here maybe? Oh, let's see. Windy City Road. What? How could that be Windy City Road? What are you talking about? No, it's not. Alright. So let's go over here and keep looking around. Well, send me the email of what he posted. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, the blue shirt guy. I know, he's right here. He pointed to somebody running. For some reason I can't even move this folder. This thing right here, see? That guy? No, I don't want help from you with your attitude like that. If you want to send me an email, great. But that doesn't make any sense. He goes, yeah, I just saw him running over there. That's ridiculous. I mean, if you can, I mean, that was a whole different event that he saw the guy running? Well, it's not a picture, it's a video of him. I mean, why? I mean, I guess it. Anything's possible. I mean, it's wide open. That's what was confusing about the background. Let me just see this. Hold on. I don't know where this is. I'm just looking at it. I mean, it looks more like it, But what's he referring to? Send me the email of whatever he posted. Okay, that's my email address right there. Just send me what you're talking about. I see. The thing is, I don't like just listening to what somebody says and then pretending that what they're saying is like a fact. Okay, okay, I'll check that out. I mean, it looks more like it, the way the ground is and everything. So is it right in his driveway or what? Maybe you're at this corner here. Let's see. That does curve right there. Let's see. No. That's not it. Looks like somebody got hurt there. Yeah, I don't see it there. Yeah, I don't like your tone either, Nevin. You weren't even right. It's not here. So, you know. Yeah, don't see it. Awesome, wasn't it? It wouldn't shock me if it was somewhere out here, though. That wasn't the spot that he was talking at, though. Is he, like, in his driveway, or... I mean, the mailbox would be out on the road, so... I know, I was on the road. LOL. I was on the road out here. It's not there, though. See? I'm just looking to see if I can find some way to make you correct here. I don't see it. Alright? At this point, I don't see it. Maybe it's right here next to this driveway right there. Even though, let's see. Yeah. That's not, we were just there. That's not it. That's not it. So, well, you can email it, but I mean, what's the difference going to be? If you can show me a picture of it, that'd be great. But look, that's his house, right? And where is that taking place? I mean, that mailbox is down there, and this one's got a nice, beautiful, curved, manicured lawn and a little bit of some rocks over here, probably for drainage of some sort. I guess we'll just keep going down this direction. Yeah, I mean, it'd be great, but yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Look how far away this is, too. Look at this. He's way over here at that address, and this is where the report of his sighting is. You're talking about, that's miles there. So maybe it was earlier that he's referring to. Don't know. That's 5 miles away. Okay, it just we got a lot of people that show up here very often, and you know, it wouldn't shock me at all if they're just goofing around. Although I gotta admit, the outside being wide open like that looks more correct, but I don't know. It doesn't look the same here. And that's just, and by the way, that's outside of where he's been. He's always been hanging out right here. What would he be doing up in this area at 7799 Windy City Road? Why would he be there? And if you can send me something else that has a little bit more proof of something. On what, Lacey? Was it bad? I mean, what was wrong with the... What did the documentary talk about, Ashy Snow? Or what are you referring to? Rust, I watched some of it. Good clips from what? Man, this has turned into a crazy evening all of a sudden. I have no idea what anybody's talking about. Who else watched the new Delphi documentary with Richard Allen? Richard Allen's wife. I didn't. But hey, Lacey Rust, what did it say? When you say, can't wait to hear Gray's views on it. Okay, well, I'll definitely watch it. I'll probably watch it tonight. Is it like an hour long, the first one? Yeah, I heard it was going to be pretty good. Is it like a pro Richard Allen thing, or is the wife now saying something? Yeah, I know that there's clips of me in it. I know. They asked me for permission. I didn't realize it was going on there. I think it was like ABC or somebody. Yeah. I mean, how did my clips come across? Yeah, man, it's just me interviewing Jerry Holman. I don't think they're going to be... I think I asked him really good questions. I have the... If you guys want, you can go watch the interview of me and Jerry Holman on my YouTube channel that very few people watched. That's crazy. All right, let me see if this guy sent me an email. I mean, he might be right about something. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem to match up, though. It was a morning. Wait, is this... Who's this? Is this you sending it to me? It was a morning to remember. Okay, it says I was over in the wooded hills yesterday, which is right behind the neighborhood, and there was just a lot of helicopters flying around. They had a couple of people text me that well, I'll just put it on the screen. All right, you want maybe we go through this thing? Do we want to, are we supposed to play these?
Authorities have captured the suspect through the woods. Law
enforcement hold on.
Diana Whitelaw tells us more about the
crew working in a gated community of
Okay, gated community, so it is in that place.
Country Club Lane that they spotted Drummond walking through the woods.
I think that's the spot that he was, that picture.
Law enforcement responded to the scene, and we spoke with one witness who recalls what happened that morning.
I walked back to the greenhouse back door was open.
Okay, hold on. Oh, shit. Where's his last name, for God's sake? Oh, there he is. No, wait, John the... His last name is Local Handyman. Never mind.
And I don't leave it open. I looked down to the left. I was just kind of viewing the area, and here I see a man in black just walking down through the middle of the ravine.
Drummond has been on the run for a week since last Tuesday when law enforcement discovered 4 bodies in Lake Camp. The reward amount has increased significantly over the last couple of days.
The arrest was made at 15 Wynwood Hills, not far from Monday's search party in a wooded area off of Pleasant Plains Road. A landscaper working on High Point
days.
The arrest was made at 15 Wynwood Hills, not far from Monday's search party in a wooded area off of Pleasant Plains Road.
Okay, so they're saying 15 Wynwood, that's the one I have over here. It's in this upper left-hand, yeah, right there. But that's also in, there's no street view there, but it's Wynwood Drive. So where's Wynwood Hill? Anybody know where that is? It doesn't even exist. If you type in 15 Wynwood Hill, it's not there. This is here because I typed it in. See, it just doesn't exist. Jesus, man. Come on, you guys.
A landscaper working on High Point Road recalls the...
Oh, High Point Road, okay. Well, that's way down here. Working on High Point Road. Does that continue on? High Point Road. High Point Road. High Point Road. So that's just right here in this part of the grid. So now we're closer, you know, I don't know, just sort of down here. So what does that have to do with Wynwood? I guess I got to listen to the rest of the sentence.
Moment a heavy police presence responded to the area.
Several unmarked.
He just saw the police
cars,
driving by.
And then about 30 minutes later, they all came back down through here, and there was a big truck full of, I guess it was a SWAT team.
Drummond was last seen on surveillance footage carrying a black.
They were back there looking for his guns and stuff in a bag, but they never found anything.
After this week-long search, residents shared
In a bag, but there was no fight, there was no hassle.
Carrying a black rifle and a backpack. According to one resident, he did not put up much of a fight.
And the cops even said there was no fight, there was no hassle. They were back there looking for his guns and stuff in a bag, but they never found
I have that picture.
After this week-long search, residents shared their relief as the suspect has now been taken into custody. 4 counts of first-degree murder.
It is frustrating. I agree. I was over in the Wynwood Hills. So it's like okay, is there a place called hold on. Wynwood Hills, Tennessee. Okay, Wynwood Hill, let's see. Okay, so maybe there's an area called that, but it's not on Google. So, Wynwood Hills and its University, okay, McClellan Road. This is Wynwood Hills up here. What are they talking about? And this is just crazy. That sounds like the road that the guy was talking about, the Windy City right there, right? So that is that area. But what are they talking about? I mean, it's like they didn't catch him there. This is getting way too hard. This should be the easiest damn thing in the world. What are you talking about? I was over in the Wynwood Hills yesterday. So this is yesterday, which is right behind this neighborhood, and there was a lot of helicopters flying around. Okay, so right, they were looking in that area yesterday. Well, as a matter of fact, let's put a pin right here in Wynwood Hills, and then we'll open up our little handy-dandy helicopter path. And so it was near there, you know, flying around like right next to that area yesterday. I mean, look what that helicopter did yesterday. That thing was all over the place. The only place it didn't fly over is here. Man, you guys were all over the place. You just didn't fly over the zone where he was found in. Good job. Alright, let's see, then it was they had a couple of people text me that I work for, they knew, blah, 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 blah. I walked back to the greenhouse, and the greenhouse back door was open, and I don't even, residents across Jackson have been on high alert. Middle of a ravine. Back just walking down the middle of a ravine, said John, a local resident. It was a morning to remember. Choppers were here about 5 minutes after I called in, and the police was in the driveway probably 10 minutes later. These pictures, they just Now, the cops even said there was no fight. There was no hassle. They were back there looking for his guns and stuff and a bag, but they never found anything, said John. Crow recalls the moment a heavy police presence responded to another caller who spotted Drummond on High Point Road. Well, yeah, so there's High Point. It's almost like when he's, so he's just right on this little tiny road right there. One of the police officers' unmarked vehicles said they were going to lock down the area for a while and told me to get in the house, so that's what I did. While the week-long search for Drummond had concluded, residents shared their relief. I heard that they had caught the fella, so I was at ease, but up until then I was pretty cautious. Man, I mean, nothing's helping here. I don't think I've ever been so stumped by these crappy descriptions. It's just unbelievable. Like there's nothing to go by. I mean, they're saying it's this house, but that's 15 Windwood Drive, not Hills. Maybe people are getting confused, because they've all heard of Windwood Hill, so they hear the drive and they just throw hills in there, like people do that. So, I mean, if that's what they're saying, look at this. So the picture that we showed earlier, that there looks a hell of a lot like that. So it goes straight, curves, and then goes uphill. Let's do a test here on this, right? And then maybe we can just sort of say, here we are, except there's no pool and there's no pool house here. So here we go. Let's say we start right. Let me just draw the line on this. I think it goes like this. And then around like that. That's kind of what this looks like it's doing. However, let's do another test here because I actually have the height here. So in this picture right here, doesn't it look like it's going uphill, 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 then even when it turns, it's going uphill, 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 right? Do you guys agree with that? It's going uphill, and then even when it turns, it looks like it's going uphill over there. So let's just assume that that's good.
Capturing their killer on Hulu. Delphi new 3-part.
Is that what it's called? Capturing their killer? Alright, so let's go here. I can see it on the side here. So right now, we're at an elevation of 454 feet. Right there, we're at 472 feet. So that means it's gone, let's see, right here at this street here, it's 452, and then now it's 476. I mean, that looks like maybe this is partially up the road, actually. So this one here is probably halfway up that straightaway. It's probably right there. And then you go up here, and let's see what this is. This right here is 480, so right there is 471. 480. Now the key is, does it keep going uphill as we go around this curve? 480, 482, and then it's still 41 or 82 up there. Kind of looks like it goes steeper than that. Like it goes around, and let's see. So let's see, right there is 479, 480, 482. And then it kind of goes down a little bit over there. I don't know. See, it looks like it goes up higher than 2 foot. But it could just be the angle. Now, if we just had street view there, we could just close this sucker out. But we don't, so. I guess we don't have to bother. Still don't know where that guy was. You know, where that guy in the blue shirt was standing. Nothing makes sense for that guy still. Even on this road that we looked at that was out here, this Windy City. I mean, maybe it was another sighting, but it sounded like it was this morning. Like he was part of the, you know, getting the cops out to the right spot. So how could he be 5 miles away? Just doesn't make any sense, unfortunately. I did mention Windy City Road in the article, but that was yesterday. And he was arrested today, early in the morning. So I don't know what the guy in the blue shirt was today. All right, are we done looking at it? I think I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I think that's as good as I can do. I mean, that looks pretty good. And there was another spot that looked right here that looked pretty good as well. The way the shape of that road, I guess. But that one doesn't really turn hard right at the top. It matches one of the photographs that he took. So, you know, maybe he was up here and they had him walk down. Maybe there's two spots, right? Like, let's say, let me just throw one more thing out here. Let's say that this shot here is actually there. Somebody's filming it because they said, oh, he was arrested over at 15 Woodwood Drive, and it's right there. So then they walked down this direction. I mean, I'm not even sure if that's a road or what the hell this is. It looks like a road. And then maybe they took him out and then walked him out right here. Like they drove to here, walked him out to this area. I mean, I'm not sure why you do that, but it does look like you're stuck in there, right? I mean, can you get in there if you drive right here and you go around, I guess. But when you're over here, you're kind of stuck. So, I don't know. I guess why would you take them out this direction to another road? Don't know. But, I mean, it's possible, I guess, that there's two different photographs from two different areas. Yeah, you mean this one over here? This one? Yeah, I mean, that's what I think, too. I think this one makes the most sense. And there's a pool with a pool house. And it's right next to where he was reported being seen at Pleasant Plains. And this was in my video today. So, anyways, that's where I came up with my video. That was my first instinct. Looking at it, yeah. I guess anything's possible, though, you guys. All right, so I think I've been on here for hours and hours and hours. Let's see. I gotta remember the name of the show. What's it called again? Oh, God. I'm tired. I've been on here for... Wait, am I still on? Oh. 3 hours and 44 minutes. Oh, boy. That's a long time. Oh, geez, Grant, Jesus. We're about ready to get out of here. People reported him, seeing him, and they caught him, and he was living in a pool house, apparently, like a swimming pool house on somebody's property. But anyways, thanks, Ralph, David, and good luck to you. And then Dale, let's see, it was... God, hold on. Galileo? Galileo? I tried. Nick, CR gifted one. And Kelly S, 25 months. Dixie Hippie, Wendy Woobles, Ralph David, Kelly S., Wendy Woobles, Christopher Sage. So, hey, did I make you laugh at least once, Ashy Snow? Christopher Sage, you should come back around again. You haven't been around for so long. But I remember your name from like years ago, it seems like. Christopher S.A.J., and then Richard Watts, WNC Granny again. And then she's been a member for 43 months, almost 4 years. Then Lish Smith. Then CR, WNC Granny, locked and loaded, excuse me. And then CR gifted a membership, K-Me, 31 months. And then Dale again. Then Alicia Nelson. Christopher S.A.J. And then Susan Smith, Michelle H., Dale, Dixie Hippie. Dale gifted 5 memberships there, very kind. Then Dixie Hippie. Then Judy Grandstrand gifted 5. And then we had Hilson House of Crazy did a cat eye donation. When trolls make a difference in the world, speak up. Otherwise, shush. That's right. That means they don't make a difference. Susan Smith. Not the Susan Smith, but a Susan Smith. And then Pamela Das Gupta, 9 months. KME, then CR gifted a membership. Then M10 gifted 1. Then MM gifted 1. Then this account gifted 1. Then CR, the membership gifting queen, did 5. Then I gifted 5. Then PJ, and then M10. Then this account gifted a membership. Then Wendy Woobles, this account. Sandy Shirley. Then this account did a cat eye. I think she was playing with some sort of a game with M10. And then MM. Then this account. And then M10's 100 doesn't show up on here. I've seen them do that before, but they normally don't show up on this little readout. But yeah, she did a double cat eye in response to this account somehow. Don't know what that means, but so what's the name of it again? This account, the Hulu show. I'll have to go. I gotta go watch it. And then let's see. I think we had one coffee tonight. All right. Let's see. Yeah, one coffee. That was Paulette or Lisa Valenzuela. Man, those coffees are. All right. What do you mean it's rejected? What do you mean? What happened? It's too long to type. Capturing their killer. There it is. Capturing their killer. Is it pretty good though? Like does it have any new information or? I think it was an ABC thing. Yeah, everyone always says oh, my credit card, it's been hacked. It's been, and you don't have to say that. Just, if you can't afford it, then don't send anything. All right, we don't need to have every second there's another hacking. Well, Gray, it's true. What the hell is that? You ever just see weird shit? Have you ever got on Google Earth and you just see something and you're like, what is this place? That's just probably a mine of some sort. But anyways, there you go, everybody. I thought it should have been it was a pretty interesting show, right? We went over the Kohberger, Bill Thompson stuff earlier. Then we went back over this again. And now we'll just wait for the probable cause document to come out. Because I'm sure law enforcement tracked where this guy was and different things. And it'll talk about his help he got and stuff like that. And then we'll cover that, and then maybe someday in the future there'll be some, if there's a trial, that'd be probably pretty interesting, But that's like in a couple of years. God, I've already forgotten the name. Oh, they're capturing their killer. All right, did you guys have, think the show was interesting tonight? Not the trolls. I'll tell you what, if I did a poll question right now, there'd be at least 50 people that are watching that would say, nah, it sucked, because they're just waiting for something to clip or, make something out of. It's on my list to watch. Yeah, that's definitely something new. Yeah, to see Kathy Allen speak. All we heard before was, there's a wheelchair coming up. What did she say in that one? There's a wheelchair coming up. Now going down, whatever that was, and then he goes, wait, what the hell did he say? There's a wheelchair coming up. What's the phrase that he always says? There's a wheelchair coming up. Ginger snaps. Oh yeah, and then she goes, they're going down in it, and he goes, ginger snaps. Cable snaps. There's a wheelchair coming up, and she goes, and she starts singing, and he goes, cable snaps. Yeah. Which we changed to ginger snaps. Actually, we did hear also in interrogation when she told him, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me you were on the bridge. I did tell. I love you, honey. Remember that part? Yeah! Man, I bet you those Richard Allen lovers, the guys that say this one? We're all Richard Allen! We're all Richard Allen, We could all be him. He's totally innocent. He's being just railroaded, everybody. He had nothing to do with it.
You pieces of shit got to the jury, didn't you?
Yeah, somebody got the jury. I wonder what they're saying tonight. Okay.
I'm not a big fan of his brain.
Come on, that's a good Trump line. Listen to that one.
I'm not a big fan of his brain.
That's perfect. What isn't that perfect for? When you're talking to the trolls.
I'm not a big fan of his brain.
Jesus.
Correct. Have you lost the last 3 brain cells, or do you just have cabbage for brains?
That's just one step above stupid. 5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp. Did you hear what I said? This guy may be like the dumbest person on the face of the earth. I mean, those are just so good. You gotta admit. What else is that? Do we have any more from him?
And grits for brains here shoots him.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said?
And grits for, listen to that one.
And grits for brains here shoots him. Did you hear what I said?
Don't ask dumbass questions.
Are you angry at me?
That was from the Jodi Arias case from Dr. Lavalette.
Are you angry at me?
Mr. Martinez, are you angry with me? The crowd laughed. Oh, Jesus.
Bring around the rosy, a pocket full of pussy.
These are my sound effects you're listening to on a scary, windy night. There we go. Right there with this one. Yes, you too can buy a rodeo clown from the rodeo clown seller himself. And that is Richard Allen, the absolute nut job in the Delphi case. Yes, you too can Purchase a handheld size of Richard Allen, which is actually his real size. You just didn't know he was that little. You just didn't know he was that little. Get your own pocket-sized version of Richard Allen, which is his actual size. He fits in your pocket. All right. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. And a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector,
I'm a certified human lie detector. I'm gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pop protector. Ooh, reflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector with a spectrum. Just remember, conjecture, I have no agenda, I'm a pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal a true offender. Hey, what happened to the music, Ray?
Yeah, so I'll just get right back. Well, it was over. What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, I thought there was more. I was trying to sing it with the E-I-E-I-O music.
Oh yeah, E-I-E-I-O. Well, it was sort of like, you didn't quite sound like that. It was something.
Ah, shut up, Gray.
Hey, what the heck? Mary Lou's talking back. Can you believe it? All right, anyway, see you guys later. Be safe. And thank you guys very much for your generosity. We reached the goal and then some. We had one of our one of the good nights, where you make up some ground on the other ones.